So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom. Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope what's today? Today's Thursday, guys. Today is Thursday already. And we're already in August, and the month is just getting started. The Dynasts love the intro. Well, that's not just the intro, guys. That's but Brandon, you could call in, Brandon, when you get a chance. When I open up the lines, you can call in. But yeah, that's not ragamuffin. That's just not an intro. I mean, my documentary is available. Shout out to Janelle Jones in the chat room, everyone Janelle's going to be traveling with us to Nigeria. And y'all, we leave for Nigeria on Monday. I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Miss Sabor in the chat room. Peace, bro. I'm ordering mines today. Like I was saying, thank you for the support, sister. And everybody who has bought the documentary so far, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot. Again, thank you for the support. Ragamuffin, let me get back to your statement. Dynasts, love the intro. It would be nice if you could transition it into South African music you played with those ladies a few months back. Listen, it's just not an intro. It's my documentary. It's the trailer to my documentary. So everyone, I need you, if you are watching this, I need you to go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com and purchase the documentary. Again, I need you to go to searchforuhuru.com, searchforuhuru.com, and purchase the documentary. I don't ask you guys for a lot. I know I give you guys the same spiel every day. I know I don't ask you guys for a lot, but I need everyone to buy the documentary. Yes, the website is search for Uhuru. In fact, to make it easier for you, go to documentary.searchforuhuru.com, documentary.searchforuhuru.com. That's where you go. Excuse me. Go to documentary.searchforuhuru.com or just go to searchforuhuru.com and please buy the documentary. I need everybody to buy the documentary. Every day when I stream, I'll go live. I'm going to ask you guys to support and buy the documentary. I need everybody to support and buy the documentary, guys. So it's $10.99 and it's streamed. Oh, you want? Okay. Randy says y'all want buck breaking. Pause. Pause. No homo. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So go to documentary.searchforhuru.com, documentary.searchforhuru.com, or just go to searchforhuru.com. And buck breaking, yeah, I don't add that on. That doesn't even roll off the tongue. Right. Yeah. Big pause. Pause. Yeah. It's a documentary that's coming out, if it's not already out, but it is a documentary that's coming out, not by me. But yeah, pause. Yeah, I got to get out a big pause. I'm not even. Yeah, we're gonna move on. But yes, the In Search of a Who documentary is available at searchforhuru.com. At searchforhuru.com. No, Ragamuffin, I didn't take it personal, guys. I didn't take it personal, guys. I don't get, I don't take anything too personal, and I don't get offended easily. Nah, I get it. In fact, Ragamuffin, my question for you, so this could be a teaching moment for me. I give you an example. Yesterday, people didn't know that once you purchase a documentary, you actually stream it through the site. So it's streamed through the site. So when you buy the documentary, you create it. Your email address is your login. Then you create a password, and all you have to do on any device is just hit that login button, and you can actually stream the documentary wherever you're at on any device forever. It's yours forever. And a lot of people didn't know that. People thought that I was going to actually send out physical copies of a DVD. Like, people thought I was sending out like DVDs. I'm like, no, I didn't know people still bought DVDs. Like, seriously, I didn't know people still bought DVDs, because with Netflix, Hulu, HBO Prime or whatnot, I thought everybody's used to just streaming everything. So, I'm trying to figure out, okay, do I need to put a disclaimer or a note on my page saying, listen, can you download a copy instead of streaming? I like to play movies online. At this time, I don't think so. At this time, you have to stream. You're gonna have to stream. Well, seriously. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need, this is a teaching moment for me. Maybe I need to put a disclaimer on the webpage saying, hey, it's streamed. Once you purchase, you have access to it. You just log in and you just stream it on any device, kind of like Netflix. So right now, as of right now, there's no physical copies. It's just too much inventory and upfront costs. Yeah, I don't know anybody that owns a DVD player either. Like, I no longer have a DVD player. So let me turn this down. But again, guys, when you make suggestions like this, or when you make comments like this, I don't take it personal. It's a teaching moment for me, because I want to make sure everybody is able to access the documentary, purchase the documentary. They know it's a documentary. They know where to go and purchase the documentary. I just want to make it, here we go. I want to make it convenient for everybody. Again, I want to make it convenient for everybody to acquire. So that's why, Ragamuffin, I'm not taking your comment personal at all. I just want to know, like, okay, you saw the trailer, you thought it was an intro. At the end of the trailer, it says documentary available now, searchforhuru.com. Is there anything else I can put on the trailer that would, I guess, draw your attention to know that is an actual trailer? I'm reading your comment, Crypto Black. Let's see here. Just put in big yellow, now streaming on the website. Well, I need to know what I can put on the trailer so people will know that, listen, is an actual documentary, not just the intro, for you to purchase the documentary, at the site. Because right now it says available now on searchforhuru.com. So when people make comments, I pay attention because, again, I want to make it convenient for everybody. I want everybody to understand where to purchase it and how to view it, if that makes sense. So, guys, documentaries available go to either searchforhuru.com to click the buy button, or go to documentary.searchforhuru.com to buy the documentary. Hopefully that all makes sense. And everyone, thank you for the support. And guys, if you're watching this, I need you to acquire. Just put streaming on searchforhuru.com. Okay. All right. So yeah, I need to know stuff like this. So there's no confusion. But yes, if you're watching this, I need you to go buy the documentary, guys. I need you to go buy the documentary. But at this time, it's just streamed. So you're gonna have to use your data or your internet to view it. But you can view it as much as you want. And it's $10.99 and it's yours for life. All you do is log in and view the documentary. Well, after the preview, there's a message that says available now at searchforhuru.com. So, like I said, I want to make it, and guys, I want to watch my words carefully. Again, I want to watch my words carefully, and I mean no harm by what I want to say. I want to keep it as stupid proof as possible, right? Oh, you can download it? Oh, Lily, I didn't know that. So I guess you can download it. Okay. Y'all, just don't go boosting my stuff. Listen, if I catch any of y'all in front of a mall or in front of a barbershop boosting my documentary, we're going to have a problem. But I didn't know you could download it. So you could download it. Lily just taught me something today. I just learned something new. I didn't know you could download it. But again, I want to make this it's an acronym called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So I want to keep this as stupid proof as possible because I want everybody to know how to access it and how to view it. So that's why when people put comments in the chat room, I pay attention because, again, I want everybody to buy it. So, okay, stream it now at searchforhuru.com. Okay. Stream it now at searchforhuru.com. Okay, got it. All right. All right, guys. So everyone, one last time, make sure you go to searchforhuru.com and buy the documentary. Thank you, Crypto Black. I appreciate that, brother. When I go to the website on my phone for the doc, is it there? Maybe I got to use a desktop. No, it should be there. You should be able to. I know people that watch it on the phone. I actually watched the documentary on my phone. Again, I actually streamed it on my phone. So, but let me know, like, if you have any issues streaming it. Again, if you have any issues streaming the documentary, please send me an email. Let me know. Like I said, I was able to test it out and stream it on my phone and on my laptop. I know other people have been watching it. And okay, Lily, here we go. I downloaded before watching. I watched it on my phone as well. All right, WM, West Coast, you gotta upgrade the Obama phone, brother. You gotta upgrade the Obama phone. Streaming now. You got to upgrade the Obama phone, brother. You got to upgrade the Obama phone. Okay. WM West Africa 1980, you got to upgrade the Obama phone. So, guys, also, we leave for Nigeria on Monday. Come listen. If you want to join us, hit me up. Going for the Oshun Festival. Gonna have a great time. Thank you for the super chats, y'all. Everyone, thank you so much for the super chats. We're gonna have a great time. So we are heading to Nigeria on Monday. If you're last minute, if you want to roll with us, flying out of JFK, let me know. Make sure you visit Danfo, 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 DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO .Africa. Jose Bronze, you got to upgrade the template for YouTube vids. Add the link to the documentary. Okay, got you. Let me take that note. Let's see here. So yeah, so okay. So again, we're going to the Oshun Festival. We'll leave Monday. We'll leave Monday for the Oshun Festival. And then we're headed to Sierra Leone in November. Citizenship is available in November in Sierra Leone. Obviously, the main thing you have to have is your African ancestry. Here we go. Your African ancestry DNA results. Again, you have to have your African ancestry DNA results, guys. So they have to link back to Sierra Leone. They have to link back to Sierra Leone, the actual results, and you'll get your passport. Pretty straightforward. There's some other documents, but that's pretty much the main, what they say, something in potatoes. Yeah, whatever the saying is, guys. I forgot. That's the main meat and potatoes. There we go. Meat and potatoes right there. You got to have that African ancestry DNA test results that link you back to Sierra Leone. Okay. They got to link you back to Sierra Leone, and you have to be the direct test taker. So that is that. All right, let's jump into it, guys. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button. Again, make sure you hit that like button. Oracle and Medusa. Let's see here. What did you say? Let me read your comment real quick. Let me read your comment. A Houston teacher was found guilty for diddling a student. Okay. Yeah, a Houston teacher was found guilty for doing something she shouldn't be doing with a student, and she got 60 days jail time and 10 years probation. Brittney got 9 years. Oracle and Medusa, we not in Russia. We in America. Everybody has their own set of laws. Some countries you get caught. Here we go. In like the Philippines and some of these Southeastern Asian countries, you get caught. Again, you get caught with drugs, you get the death penalty. Again, you get the death penalty. In some other countries, you get caught with drugs. Again, you get the death penalty in some countries if you caught with dope. You get caned in some countries. So yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. I think 9 years is very harsh, but you know, it's their laws, and I really want to, and I want some of the sisters to call in, because today's show we're gonna focus on my sisters. You know I love y'all. You know I love y'all. But I want to start off with this real quick. Hold on one second. And this is to the team. Brittney Griner is wrong. This is for team Brittney Griner is wrongfully detained. So oh man, Simp Police has stopped simping. Oh man, am I simping Simp Police? I mean, I love the Simp Police. Listen, I love my sisters. You know I do. You know I do. And I want my sisters to call in too. And if that's simping police, then I guess I'm a simp. Shout out to Ochi Igboyi. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the support, man. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. And y'all need your guys' reviews. I need you guys to share, not as in actually share a copy for free, like you give out your Netflix password. But how about like share it as far as getting people to cop the DVD? Not the DVD, but to cop the documentary and stream it. Thank you for the support, everyone. All right, so this is Iman Shumpert. NBA's Iman Shumpert arrested for felony weed possession at Dallas airport. So, guys, my question for, Team Brittney Griner. Is Iman Shumpert being wrongfully detained? Again, is Iman Shumpert being wrongfully detained because he got caught here in America with marijuana at an airport? Very similar to what happened to Brittney Griner. Again, very similar to what happened to Brittney Griner. Is he illegally detained? Is he wrongfully detained? Oh, man. Brandon, thank you for the super chat, but I can't put that up on the screen, Brandon. Brandon, thank you for the super chat, but I cannot put that on the screen. Okay, I can't put that on the screen. Okay, all right, Brandon. I can't read your super chat, Brandon. But brother Brandon, we appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it, but I cannot read that. All right. Black family, don't put the cape on for Brittney. Listen, I don't think she deserves 9 years. I'll say that right now. What she did, if she has a clean record, even though I think she did put hands on one of her ex-wives or girlfriends, which is another subject. But listen, I don't think she deserves 9 years. I'll say that right now. She doesn't deserve 9 years. But is he being wrongfully detained? Because that's the logic with the Brittney Griner supporters, that she's being wrongfully detained for being caught for weed at a Russian airport. NBA player Iman Shumpert was arrested for having a sizable amount of marijuana in his backpack at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport on Saturday, TMZ Sports has learned. See, guys, I'm going to do another show. Stop simping? Okay, Simplies, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Simplies. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't think she deserves 9 years. If that's simping, then I'm just simping. Again, if that's simping, then I'm just simping. I don't think she deserves 9 years, Simplies. But anyways, I want, man, Black family, I'm going to do another show maybe later on today. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out, how has the Black community won from weed culture? How do you forget to remove a sizable amount of weed? Again, how do you forget to remove a sizable amount of weed from your bag when you get to the airport? How do you get caught with a sizable amount of weed at the airport? Because I know a lot of my, smoke all day, smoke every day. Weed is from the earth. I got that purple kush, this color kush, that color kush, that super dro, that super duper dro, that purple kush. Weed is from the earth. I'm going to start my own cannabis farm. That was the hot thing now. That was the hot thing. That's the hot thing lately, man. I'm going to start my own cannabis farm. I'm gonna open up my own cannabis shop. I got the edibles for the low. I got the edibles for the low. Got the gas on deck. Got that gas. Hey, Sim, please. I forgot where I was at. Somewhere here in the West End in Atlanta, or somewhere downtown, and somebody walked up to me. I got that gas, shawty. He's Sim, please. That's exactly what they said. I got that gas, shawty. I'm trying to figure out the way the black community celebrates weed culture. I'm trying to figure out how the black community has won or is winning from weed culture. Yeah, how do you forget weed in your bag? Listen, so we're going to Nigeria. I'm taking a group to Sierra Leone. I'm telling them right now, all that weed paraphernalia, edibles, oils, hemp-infused toothbrushes, and toothpaste, leave all that at home. Don't bring none of that with you. I'm telling them, leave all that at home. I'm saying leave all that at home. When Russia was threatening to invade Ukraine, she should have left. Why did she give them a reason? It was her ego. And we're going to get into that later on when we get into the Nigeria portion of the topic. A lot of my sisters, I got to tell y'all, like some of that air snatching, period, that you can do here in America, you can't do that in other places of the world. They don't play that. Again, they don't play that. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the like button. If you come to the channel, hit the like button. You know, like you said, Brittney Griner thought she was privileged. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, like you might be privileged here in America. And this just ain't for the women. This is for the men too. You can't be doing that in other countries. Dr. Edward William, thank you so much. Hold on, I got to put that in the chat room. But hold on, Dr. Edward William, thank you. I gotta, because I was actually not in a different chat room. I was actually having this conversation with somebody in the chat room in another chat. Brittney Griner was detained before the invasion. Yeah, okay. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier. Yeah, but listen, if you traveling with Dynasty, you got to leave all the weed stuff at home. If you're traveling with Dynasty, you got to leave all that stuff at home. I don't care about your cataracts, your anxiety issues. You know, the edibles make you help you to be calm on the plane and push you to sleep. Listen, you got to leave all of that stuff at home, period. All right, all of it. You got to leave it at home. Let me get back to the article. According to the police report, officers responded to a potential drug violation call around 2:40 p.m. after TSA screeners found a plastic bag filled with green leafy substance in Shumper's bag, which he admitted was weed. Cops say the substance weighed 6.12 ounces and tested positive for marijuana using a mobile test. I mean, do y'all really be that high where you forget you got ounces of weed in your bag when you show up to the airport? The report adds 32-year-old Shumpert, who was set to board a Delta plane to Los Angeles at 3 p.m., expressed concern about missing his trip to visit his daughter. But the responding officer informed him he would not be making that flight, and he was being placed under arrest for marijuana possession. The report says the 2016 NBA champ was then placed in handcuffs and transported to the airport jail without incident. The charge is classified as a state jail felony, meaning Shumpert could face up to 2 years behind bars and a $10,000 fine if convicted. Cops also claim Shumpert, who also won season 30 of Dancing with the Stars, had a Glock magazine and 14 9mm rounds in his bag, although he didn't have a gun. Yo, yeah, listen, family. We all got vices. We all have vices. Okay, I get it. We got vices. I get it. I'm not judging nobody. But if weed puts you in such a state where you forget that when you're heading to the airport, that you forget that you have bullets and a magazine in your bag, you got to stop smoking that shit. I'm sorry. You got to stop smoking that shit. I'm sorry. Listen, if weed makes you forget that you got 6 ounces in your bag along with bullets and a magazine on your way to the airport, you got to stop smoking that shit. That's why I'm going to do a whole separate show just on weed culture in the Black community. I don't see how that shit, I don't care about your anxiety issues. Well, Don, I smoke because of my anxiety. Don, I smoke because of my cataracts. Ain't no way. I mean, Tylenol, ibuprofen, I don't know. These drugs don't make you forget that you got bullets and magazines and drugs when you head to the airport. I'm going to get back to the air snatching here shortly. Give me about 15 more minutes. Here we go. Bury their sorrows with weed. And listen, I'm not judging, but some of my weed people, man, y'all take this too serious. And I just see you guys catching L's. Again, my weed family, some of y'all take this too serious. And I just see you guys catching L's. We're going to get into the air snatching shortly. Hold on. We're going to get back to the air snatching. Yeah, we're going to get back to the air snatching shortly. So if you guys don't know, Brittney Griner got 9 years. And yes, I'm simping. She don't deserve 9 years. She don't deserve 9 years. I am simping. I mean, yeah, I'm simping. Per simp police, I'm simping because I'm saying she don't deserve 9 years. But guys, we have to. Here's another situation. So Brittney Griner got caught with hashish oil, which is, I think hashish oil is still weed, right? It's still weed, right? And see, that's my point. Hash oil or cannabis oil is oleosin obtained by the extraction of cannabis or hashish. So it's still technically weed. It's the extract. The point I'm trying to make, listen, if all this weed, if all this CBD oil, THC, whatever you want to call it, is causing you to forget that you got drugs in your bag when you're headed to the airport, you got to stop smoking that shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is 2 cases of 2 people who got caught up at the airport with the shit they smoked that's illegal. You got to let it go. I don't care if you got a prescription. I don't care if you got a prescription from your doctor. Somebody said Brittney ain't used as a pawn. She ain't LeBron. And listen, I've made mistakes, man. I've dropped the ball on some things, but this is a tough mistake. 9 years. Let's jump into the article. WNBA star Brittney Griner sentenced to 9 years in Russian jail for drug smuggling. Man, I mean, I feel sorry for the sister. I'll be honest. Call me a simp. 9 years in Russia, a Russian prison. But you never know. They might make the U.S. might make a deal for her. But I feel sorry for her. Edward, you make a great point. I was telling somebody that the other day when we were having this conversation. A lot of the dysfunctional stuff that we do here in America is illegal damn near everywhere else on the globe. Again, a lot of the dysfunctional stuff that is deemed normal here in America, that's illegal here in America. I'm sorry, that's legal. I'm sorry. That's legal here in America is illegal darn near everywhere else on the globe. Period.
And go to areas of the world where no one has ever been.
Patagonia, Life on the Edge of the World, Sundays at 9 on CNN.
I want our viewers to see the moment when the judge actually read the sentence, the maximum sentence, the one the prosecutors asked for, 9 years in a penal colony.
Final verdict is 9 years of imprisonment of the 9 million rubles penalty in the penal colony. And she will serve her term from the day of the announcement of this verdict. And time when she was behind bars from the 18th of February 2022 will be included in the overall term.
Jill Doherty, former CNN Moscow bureau chief, is back with us. Just watching that is, it's heart-wrenching, and thinking about all of the factors in play here, not the least of which is she's 31 years old. She is somebody who is quite literally at the top of her game in the WNBA. And now she is, according to that translation, immediately going to go to a penal colony. I know we're going to talk in a moment about the potential for a prison swap, but since she's going right now, can you explain to our viewers here around the world, what does that mean? What does a Russian penal colony look like and entail?
It depends on which one. There will be work to be done. Now, it could be harsh work, kind of labor, or it could be making things kind of like, sewing uniforms and things like that. We'll have to see exactly where she will be going. But this is really, really sobering. But this is kind of what was expected because of the way that the Russian law is set up, and the fact that very few people are ever exonerated, and the fact that they said, the guilty verdict was with criminal intent. So the judge is really, pushing minor, like 6 months off because of a few extenuating circumstances. But this is really, really tough. And now, there are two possibilities. Obviously, they're going to appeal this, but it's really now up to Vladimir Putin, because the United States has made it very clear that it wants Brittney Griner out. And President Biden has made that very clear by the actions that he's taken and the State Department.
Yeah, so it's not, penal colony, Siberia, Well, at least they gave her some time served, but you never know what can happen. But it's unfortunate. I'm a simp, whatever. I don't think she deserves 9 years. I'm not reading you, Brandon. I'm not reading your comment, Brandon. Brandon, I'm not reading your comment. Brandon, I appreciate the super chat, but I'm not reading your comment. Okay, I'm not reading it. Can't read that here. And Brandon, listen, when you come on, when I let you on the stream, don't do it, Brandon. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. All right, what else we got here? All right, so I was going to talk about this months ago when it happened. Basically, a sister in Nigeria going to see her Nigerian king and was headed back to America, I guess overstayed her visa. And so she was she was detained at Murtala Muhammad Airport in Lagos. And even though she was wrong and overstayed her visa, she started grabbing air. And what I'm trying to tell my sisters, a lot of that grabbing air stuff don't work overseas. You can do it in America in some places, but in some countries, you ain't gonna be grabbing air. So let's play the video. Hold on, let's play the video. Hey guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. All right, here we go. And this video, so I couldn't find the original video, but this Nigerian sister, Sassy Funky, Sassy Funky, she actually did a video on it. But what we'll do, we'll watch the video and then I'll give my my comments on it.
Emergency flight. Let's hear this.
So I am here at the airport and they're claiming that I've overstayed my welcome, even though I'm married to a Nigerian.
All right. So she says she's at the airport and she overstayed her visa pretty much. And then she says, even though she's married to a Nigerian. Okay. Just because you're married to a Nigerian, until you actually go through the formal process of getting your citizenship through marriage to a Nigerian, you're still an American. See, listen, I gotta have a conversation now with Long Stroke Babatunde, Long Stroke Emeka. You know, when you guys be sliding in these sisters' inboxes on Facebook and on Instagram, all right, y'all gotta, you guys have to educate our sisters on the laws in your guys' countries. This sister really thought she could overstay her visa by months and months and months just because she's married to a Nigerian. See, Long Stroke Babatunde, Long Stroke Emeka, when you guys are sliding in these sisters, because see, Long Stroke Babatunde and Long Stroke Emeka, this you gotta understand. A lot of these sisters, they have never traveled outside of America. A lot of these sisters whose inboxes you guys go into, which is fine. Hey, listen, do your thing. I ain't hating. Do your thing. But what you have to understand, a lot of these sisters, they not exposed. All right. They not exposed to what goes on outside of their immediate communities. So you guys need to let these sisters know, hey, this is what's going on. These are the rules. These are the laws. Because she really started grabbing air because she thought she was in the right in that. And listen, I'm telling you right now, let me say this. Listen, there's a lot of bribery that goes on in Nigeria. There's a lot that goes on. I mean, there's some that it goes on. Corruption, it goes on. All right. But the last thing you're going to do is start grabbing air at the airport when you are wrong and then trying to argue these folks down. Now, listen, you can argue down the lady at the when you at Popeyes or at American Deli and they mess up your order. You could argue them down. You could snatch all the air you want to at American Deli and Popeyes. But some places you at a port of entry, like the airport. Again, at the port of entry at an airport, an international airport, you ain't gonna snatch air. It ain't gonna happen. And seeing, like I said, I gotta tell my long stroke Babatunde, long stroke Emeka, when you guys be sliding in these girls' inboxes, you know, telling them how you a king and you a Babalao and you a prince and you this and you that. A lot of these sisters ain't exposed. I'm sorry. And you setting these sisters up for failure. She really thought that she could overstay her visa just because she's, in quotation marks, married to a Nigerian. It don't work like that. Okay, let's continue.
I'm here on time and they're going to make me miss my flight. So
Let me talk to this. They said that she had overstayed her welcome. And she said, even though I'm married to a Nigerian, let's clarify that. You overstaying and being married to a Nigerian are two completely different things. But let's keep going.
Like I said, you overstaying and you being married to a Nigerian is two different things. Alex B, we're going to get to that point because she could have easily got out of the situation. Listen, I've overstayed my visa in Togo. You know what I did? I went to the airport. Sir, I'm sorry. I went to immigration. Look, I'm sorry. Overstayed my visa or didn't have a visa. I was respectful. I paid the money and they gave me my visa right there at the airport so I could leave the country. I'm telling you, I can't be, sisters, you can't be snatching air and flipping weave and extensions at the airport like you do at American Deli. You can't do it. It's not going to work. Even if, and listen, even if they're in the wrong and you're in the right, you still got to be respectful. You still got to talk to them calmly, quiet, be respectful. Listen, even if you are in the wrong, when you're at the airport, you still got to be respectful. Ain't no snatching air and flipping weaves and extensions. It ain't going to happen. They don't play that. Listen, a lot of these countries don't play that.
So I'm here. They brought me all the way back to the opposite end of the airport. Did not explain anything to me. Did not.
Listen, let me say this too. Y'all, okay, when you're overseas, like Nigeria, put the camera phone down. Put the camera down. Like, number one, you shouldn't be recording this. I'm sorry. It ain't America where you can just pull out the phone and start recording. You can't really do that over there. Just put the camera down, put the phone down, be calm, be quiet. Excuse me, Mr. Immigration Officer, I'm so sorry. I overstayed my visa. I apologize. What can we do? You know, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know. I'm married. I just had my wedding. I got married to a Nigerian. Just had my wedding. And I just want to get home. I'm just trying to get home, have my family home. I overstay my visa. Listen, I'll pay for my visa, whatever I have to pay to get my visa where I'm in, good status or whatever, so I can leave the country. That's what I'll do. And again, humbly, I'm sorry. The minute you start pulling out the phone, Rural Star, snatching air, flipping weave, and micro braids, it's gonna go downhill from there. It's going downhill from there. You can forget it. Here we go, Missy Barr. Here we go. I'm telling you, when you got to the airport, right? And they told you, listen, you overstayed your visa, ma'am. Come with me. You go immediately into humble mode, nice mode. I didn't know. I apologize. I enjoyed myself in Nigeria. I just got married, was recently married. It was confusion. I'm so sorry. What do I need to do? So I will be in protocol so I can leave the country. Again, I'm sorry. I apologize. Guys, listen, I don't care how corrupt you think these countries are. I don't care how much bribing goes on in certain countries. It's just there's certain things they're not going to tolerate. And snatching air is one of them. Again, listen, whatever I need to do to get clear to get on the plane, I'm willing to do it. Okay, how much is the visa? Okay, once again, Mr. Officer, Mr. Immigration Officer, I apologize. I'm sorry. Whatever I need to do, I came to Nigeria, overstayed my visa. I didn't know, this is new for me. I just got married. I apologize. Had a great time in Nigeria. Really love your country. I mean, the negative stereotypes that we hear about Nigeria in the West, when I got here, completely opposite. Had the time of my life, found the love of my life here in Nigeria. Listen, whatever I need to do to get on the plane, my plane's leaving, whatever penalty I have to pay, whatever fine I have to pay, so I could, be in correct protocol or where I could be cleared to leave the country to go back home. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your understanding. I appreciate it. Thank you. See, the minute you start, the minute you start grabbing the phone, I'ma expose you. I'ma expose you. I'ma expose you. Expose you. It's going downhill from there. It's going downhill from there. Okay, let's proceed.
Say anything to me, just walks me back. My flight is boarding, and they have yet to say anything. He has my passport, has not spoken, has not said anything to me. My civil rights have been violated.
See, listen, all that. See, listen. Let me tell you something. You're not gonna have court, and even here in America, you're not gonna have, especially over in Africa, depending on the situation, depending on the circumstances, you're not really going to have court in the streets. All right. Your civil rights are violated. Man, please. Like, nah, listen. I'm not laughing at her, though. I'm not laughing at her. But you're not going to have court in the streets. Listen, let me tell you how it works. Even Shirley laughing. Yeah, you violated my civil rights. Like, even Shirley laughing. Like, I mean, come on. Like, listen, I've been pulled over, detained, not detained. No, not wrong word. I've been pulled over or questioned in Africa. In fact, the first time I went to Nigeria, true story. True story. First time I went to Nigeria, 2018. Me and Falajiki, rest in peace, we had caught Okada, a bike, to go to one of the meet with the minister of like tourism, or I forgot, in Osun State. So we're on a bike, and the little Nigerian secret police roll up on us and tell us to pull over. So they hop off the bikes, they hop out of the little van or whatever, the truck or whatever. They got AK-47s, they got guns, and they say, "Let me see your bag." So I was calm. "What you want to see my bags for?" No, none of that. I didn't do none of that. I said, "Yes, sir." I gave them my bag, my camera bag. Here. This is my camera bag. This is what I travel with. I keep all my camera equipment. So they wanted to check my bag. So they checked my bag, and they thought I was a Yahoo boy because of all my tattoos. So they checked my bag, and then listen, after they checked my bag, they didn't ask me for a bribe. Listen, I didn't give this violate my civil rights talk. I didn't give them none of that. I gave them a tip, not a bribe. I gave them a tip. In fact, I'm sorry. They asked me for a tip, not a bribe. Not a bribe. They don't do that. I'm sorry. They don't do that. They don't bribe. It was a tip. They asked for a tip. So I gave them some tip money. You know, I didn't say you violate my civil rights. I'm going to call my lawyer. You know, I didn't do none of that. They pulled me over. They searched my bag. They told Valajiki that they thought I was a Yahoo boy because of my tattoos. And then literally, they looked at me. They said, "Hey." But that means they wanted a tip. They wanted a tip. They just wanted it, not a bribe. It was a tip. They wanted a tip. I gave them some tip money, and we went on our way. That's it. That's all. No problem. I didn't pull out my camera phone. I'm gonna expose you, world star. I didn't do none of that. And see, that's what you gotta understand. When you in these other countries, they're not playing that. You ain't gonna talk about I'm calling my lawyer. Ain't no hold up. You violate my civil rights. Ain't none of that. Listen. They pulled me over. They pulled us over. They searched my bag. And they let me go. And I guess they wanted a tip because maybe they needed some gas money. I don't know. It's none of my business. They work hard. In fact, here we go. They work very hard. They're very hard-working Nigerian police officers. Very hard-working. And they keep the streets of Osun safe. So with that being said, I gave them a tip for keeping the streets of Osun safe. So that's what I did. I gave them some tip money. Yeah, and that's it. But the minute you start grabbing the phone and flipping hair and grabbing air, like it's gonna be very it's gonna end very bad for you.
And no one is explaining anything to me. So therefore, I'm making a documentation to let you know where I am, who I am, and this is the office of where I am. So I will be forwarding this video to the FBA as well.
She said she gonna forward. She said she gonna forward the video to the FAA. Oh, my bad. Oh, you don't see the video. My bad.
Well as the airline, as well as human and civil rights attorneys, because I will be suing.
Okay, so essentially she's saying that she was taken, I guess, towards the immigration officers at the airport, and they did not communicate to her or say anything to her. They just took her passport. But it's interesting that was said because she just mentioned at the beginning of the video that they said she had overstayed. So they did communicate to her. But on the other hand, she's sweating a lot. We need to do better with our ACs at the airport, just saying. Yeah, so that was pretty much that video. So the next video I'm going to share with you is this video here.
Correctly. So I am not going to stop recording. I am going to let my attorney know because. Sorry. No, you cannot see my phone. I just told you cannot see my phone. What do you want to see?
So guys, listen. She's in the office, the back office, pause. And literally, all she had to do, guys, if you ever, listen, let me tell you something. If you're ever in this situation, I'll give you another situation. I was in Cote d'Ivoire, and I had some art that I was taking from the Habana Cote d'Ivoire that I was bringing to back to America. I was in Cote d'Ivoire. The little customs guy pulled me back into the back office and was like, there's a tax I have to pay to take it on a plane. I didn't get loud. I didn't get ignorant. You know, I didn't get upset. I didn't start snatching air. You know, I didn't start doing none of that. We negotiated his tip. Again, we negotiated his tip. And I was in and out in 2 minutes. I gave him, you know, his tip. I forgot how much safer it was. I think he wanted like 10,000 safer for his tip. I gave him like, I think like we negotiated down to like 6,000 safer. And that was it. No, it was a tip. It was a tip. And that was it. Because he was doing a great job as a customs officer. So I tipped him. And that was it. I wasn't combative. I didn't get angry. I didn't try to size him up. I didn't tell him I was going to call the U.S. Embassy. But there's a time and place for that. I didn't tell him, you know, I'm going to call my lawyer. I didn't tell him that I know the president. I didn't tell him none of that. Listen, he said, come with me. Because listen, at the end of this, see, this is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at. Either you're going to get on a plane or you're not. Either you're going to pay to bring your items on the plane or your shit's going to stay in Cote d'Ivoire or whatever country you're in. Those are your options, okay? There's no arguing. So I paid my tip and I was about my way. I went about my day and came back home.
What do you want to see? What do you want to see? I am recording what is happening to me. Because let me tell you what the problem is. I came in here on time. I got everything done. I paid my PCR test. I did everything I was supposed to do. I came in. I did it online. Yeah, I did everything. All my stuff was been done. Everything was done. Then I get there and I told the guy, this is my first time here, so I don't know where to go. He's yelling at me, just go down there, just go down there. So I walked off and I started to go to the security check. He started yelling at me, telling me.
So I want you guys to listen. She said, just go down there, just go down there. But I mean, she said that the customs guy told her just to go down there. Meaning they were going to take her to the side and say, hey, listen, let me tell you. They were going to take her to, oh my goodness. See, I blame this on Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka. That's who I blame for this. This is y'all fault. This is who I blame. I blame Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka for this right here. She said that the customs agent told her to go this way, but she had to snatch air. Pause. Listen, y'all. I'm not gonna snatch air no more. Somebody said I look like sugar and butter, so I'm gonna stop snatching air. Somebody in the chat room said, Dynas, I know some of y'all think it's funny, but some people in the chat room said, Dynas, you look like sugar and butter when you snatch air. Stop it. So I'm going to stop snatching air. Okay, I'm going to stop it. So when they told her to follow them or go over here, they were going to have that conversation. Guys, listen, I've been here before. They were going to have that conversation where, like, listen, you overstayed your visa. You got to pay for your visa to board this flight. Okay, Delina said I don't have to. Delina said I don't have to. Delina said I don't have to stop snatching air. Okay, listen. The leader said, "Oh, PG, PG says keep doing it." So I said, "Don't stop." Okay. Next video. All right, but listen, they were gonna pull her to the side and say, "Listen, you know, you overstayed your visa. You gotta pay, and then you probably have to pay some small. You paid a small. Oh, I'm sorry, you got the tip. The tip. You gotta tip them. So you pay for your visa and then give them a tip, some small tip. And she's on the Delta plane headed back to America. But see, again, I blame Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka for not properly coaching. You know, a lot of these women, they be meeting on Facebook and Instagram. And see, y'all got her in this situation. Y'all should have coached her up. She overstayed her visa. That's y'all fault. I know you guys sent her the invitation letter so she could get a visa in the first place. So y'all responsible as well for getting her jammed up like this. Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka, y'all responsible.
What are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. I told you to go down. I said, how the hell am I supposed to know? I'm asking you where to go.
How the hell am I supposed to know? Like you can't do, ladies, you can't do that. Shout out to PG. I'm not gonna say PG's full name. He has his initials. So shout out to PG. Shout out to PG for the $20 super chat. Thank you, PG. Thank you.
He would not tell me where to go. He was not clear. And this one was not clear. I asked him, what is happening here?
Okay, so maybe there were some communication gaps, and I think I can, attest to the fact that, perhaps Nigerians in general need to know how to, in position of power, need to know how to communicate things better to people. That is something.
I told the man I am married to a Nigerian. I told him the reason why the passport was not stamped.
Okay, sisters and brothers, brothers and sisters. Just because you get married in a foreign country, to a citizen of that country, does not automatically mean you are a citizen of that country. You still have to go through a formal process to become a citizen. So yes, even though you got married, you still stay past your visa. You still stayed past your visa.
State governor's office told me that we were supposed to do the green card. We are in the process of doing the green card.
Okay, you are in the process of doing the green card, meaning you don't have a green card. You're in the process.
I have to leave. I have an emergency in the United States, and I've got to get on that flight. And I told this man that I need to get on that flight.
Okay, so from what she's saying here, it seems they said that because she's in the process of getting the green card, So I think she wasn't meant to leave Nigeria. She's just going for an emergency. And it's only because of the emergency that she's leaving Nigeria at this point in time that she would have maybe gotten her green card if she had stayed. That's what I'm inferring. Like, I'm not sure about the process of actually how to get green cards and the process. Some of you guys there might want to enlighten me in the comments, but that's, it seems, what she's saying.
Then he takes me and brings me all the way back here without saying one word. Just, we're going to my office. Okay, well, we're going to your office. You finna get recorded because I don't know what's happening. And I'm here by myself and I'm surrounded by a bunch of men and I have no idea what the hell is.
Listen, sisters, the dame in distress. I'm surrounded by men. The dame in distress. Excuse. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. He told me to come to my office. I don't know why. Yeah, they're not really going to explain everything to you. Again, this could have been handled when she first engaged the customs officer. This situation could have been handled in 10 minutes if she would have got on her flight. Like I said, I've been here before several times. Sir, come with me. Yes, sir. Your visa. Oh, sir, I apologize. I'm sorry. How much do I need to pay so I can get cleared to leave the country and go back home? I'm sorry. This is what you got to pay. Okay, no problem. And you're on your way. Literally that easy. When I was shout out to Reality real quick. The Dynast, I watched your documentary. It is very good. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm gonna shout out the documentary here in a second. I'm gonna shout out the documentary here in a second. Yeah, damsel in distress. My bad. I said dame in distress. Okay, I'm sorry. Damsel in distress. Yeah, you can't. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So, Timbo Slice. This is the link. Documentary. Search for uhuru.com. Documentary.search for uhuru.com. That's the, thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, let's get back to the video.
Calm down. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. Miss, calm down yourself. Please. I am dealing with a lot right now. Let me see, man.
They told her to calm down. She said, I ain't calming down. I ain't calming down. I mean, you just can't do that. But again, I blame Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka. Because see, let me tell you something. See, Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka be allowing their sisters to talk to them any type of way. Again, Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka, when they get with these sisters that they meet online, they allow them to talk to them any type of way. And so these sisters think that they could, when they talk to Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka, they think that's how you can talk to any man in Africa, and you're gonna mess with the wrong one, and you ain't gonna have no protection. And let me tell you something else. If something happens to you, like with this sister, Longstroke Babatunde and Longstroke Emeka ain't gonna be there to save you. So here we go. So when this sister was going through this, if you notice, and I could be wrong, we're gonna watch the entire video. Why didn't she call Longstroke Babatunde or Longstroke Emeka to come get her from the airport? Why didn't she say, I'm calling Longstroke Babatunde or Longstroke Emeka to come get her from the airport? or to come to the airport that she's in trouble. Because when she got jammed up, long stroke Babatunde, long stroke Emeka, nowhere to be found. Okay, let's continue.
Madam, there any problem? Can you hear me out? When I asked you to come and see my boss, did you go to see him or not? What is he trying to explain to you? Did you even give him a listening ear? You didn't.
I listened to everything that man said, but he didn't listen to anything I said.
What you mean you listen to everything that man said, but you didn't listen to anything I said? Trust me, they hear you. They hear you. They hear you.
Which is what I run into on a regular basis here. You men are so male chauvinistic, you can't listen to what a woman has to say.
Listen to
You're in a patriot. See, and see it again. I blame Babatunde and Emeka. Listen to what she just said. Nah, it's their fault. Listen, she said, did you listen to that? Put the link in the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Give me a second. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Give me a second. Give me like 15 more minutes. I'm a land. She said, you guys are so male chauvinistic that you won't listen to what a woman says. Listen, you're in a patriarch. This ain't America. This ain't the black community of America, which is a matriarchy. You're in a patriarch society in Nigeria. And see what happens. Let me tell you what happens. Babatunde and Mecca allows these sisters to run all over them. So they think they can just snap on any man in Africa. Then they get their wake-up call. That's what it is. I'm telling you. Babatunde and Emeka lets these sisters run all over them. And so they think that they can do all that wherever they go in Africa. And then they get their wake-up call. Yes, you're in a chauvinistic. It's Nigeria. It's a patriarchal society. It's patriarchy. It ain't the black community in America. It's patriarchy. So no, they ain't trying to. In fact, they listen to you, but you were just wrong.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'll say something. This is not legal or whatever, but I think it's very important when you go to someone else's country. Sometimes it's good to understand how the way you talk to them and how the way you communicate, how that can be perceived, right? You know, even references of her saying this one, like Africans take that very insulting, right? So when you're talking to someone in a position of power like that, it's not positive, I will say.
Here we go. Here we go.
Are you aware you're on a business visa? Because boldly written on your passport, you have 30 days to stay.
You know what?
And you went.
Okay, guys. So for Nigeria, for the most part, how visa on arrival works, because I do visa on arrivals for Nigeria, it's 30 days, one-time entry. So when the customs agent or immigration said, "Are you aware that you're on a business visa?" She pretty much probably got visa on arrival. So it wasn't a tourist visa. She had a business visa, which is probably visa on arrival. And guys, I could be wrong, but I know like visa on arrival in Nigeria is good for 30 days, one-time entry. That's it. That's all. With tourist visas, I forgot the length of time, but they're good overall. Well, I forgot how long you can stay at one given time, but they're usually good for 2 years, unlimited entry. In fact, let's look this up real quick. Give me a second. Yes, I think a visa, business visa is visa on arrival. Hold on, guys. I'm looking this up real quick. I'm sorry. It's 90 days. It's 90 days. I know the normal visa on arrival is 30. This one is 90 days. Business visa. It's 90 days. Okay, it's 90 days. Sorry about that. 90 days. That's good for 90 days.
Well, I tell you what.
Another 28 days, and that wasn't enough. You are expected to leave this country from October, and you are still here. Today is April 12th. And you don't
Okay, actually, so this gives a little bit of clarity as to what exactly happened. The immigration officer stated that she actually came on a business visa, and the business visa, after 30 days, she was meant to leave, but she extended.
Okay, so I was right. The business visa was 30, is for 30 days, and then you can extend it. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, the business visa is for 30 days. Yeah, it's 30 days. It's like a visa on arrival. It's 30 days. Then you can extend it. But is it, guys, listen, to extend your visa in these countries, it's a simple process. You just go to immigration, pay a little money, and you're done with it. But see, again, I blame Baba Tunde and Emeka for setting this woman up for failure.
Because you can extend within in country for another, I think, a month or so. And she was meant to leave in October 2021, and she's only leaving now in April 2022. She seems to not disagree with those terms, so it seems like that's what actually happened.
want to give room for explanation.
I did give you an explanation. You see, that's the thing. You don't listen because I did give you an explanation.
I don't know who's not listening.
Okay, well, who's walking away now? Okay, who's walking away now? Don't want to listen.
Okay, guys, I'll say this. Let me interject here. I have been detained briefly by Canadian immigration, American immigration, UK immigration. You guys know my deportation story. You can't talk to them like this. Like, you cannot talk to immigration like the speed at which they will deport you, right? And just to give clarity, I think a lot of times the things Nigerians experience when we are in other countries, in the airports, most people don't know about that. You know, a lot of Americans have that privilege that they have a strong passport, that they don't really get detained as often as, for example, Nigerians. Is that a lot of times, you know, you're detained, given a little sheet to just say that you've been detained, right? No one really talks to you, and they hold you and detain you, and you can't do anything for it. And they will hold you in like prison type rooms sometimes, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to wait until it's your turn, and they will explain things to you. I'm not saying the way they communicated to her was the most, like, you know, professional words or like terms, whatever. But what I'm saying is that the Americans will never let you record. The British never let you record anything. And she unlawfully overstayed. And maybe she was given information to state that, oh, she could overstay. But I feel like if you're wrong, it's clear that there's potential wrongdoing on her side based on the fact on the table, like a business visa, you extended for a month, you didn't extend after that. It's been like 4 or 5 months or 6 months since, right? You can't try that in any other country. Yeah, but let's keep going. Let me see other videos here that she shared.
Okay, and also you want to make a report about your missing.
I just went down there to get my bag.
Okay.
My bag is missing down there all night. It was checked into the flight.
Okay.
And then it came up missing. I was like, I asked him, I said, where's my bag? Where's my bag? I kept asking him, where's my bag? Oh, ma'am, it's already shot. It's already shot.
Don't tell my husband to shut up. He's defending me.
You're not sitting in this country, for God's sake. You're not talking about the passport. Then what?
We're talking about my shoes missing.
Okay, I think opportunity. I think he showed up. She said, "Don't talk to my husband like that." Yeah, the husband's there. The husband's there, so he showed up. But he's going about it the wrong way.
Okay, guys, that sounds like a marketplace. Essentially, I think what happened here is the next day she came back with her husband and some things were missing from her luggage, like her shoes. And one of the immigration officers told.
Okay, she came back the next day. She came back the next day, so she missed her flight. Then the next day, Babatunde came and rode there with her.
Her husband to shut up, so she's offended about that, which she should be, guys, because you can't be talking to people anyhow like that. But on the other hand, I feel like in this sort of situations, they need to have like private rooms without external influences in the room, because in the West, they'll never let you bring somebody else to be talking to immigration. It will never happen like that. So that's something I guess immigration needs to work on their part, because or else it becomes like a marketplace.
My stuff is missing. That's what I'm mad about. I didn't say that they had it. You don't even listen. Shut up.
Who the hell they have? Nobody can touch you. Nobody can. I just called Abuja right now. Nobody can touch you. Okay?
So you can see the back and forth. The husband is basically saying that he has called someone in Abuja, right? And basically they can't touch his wife, that she's good. And the immigration said that they're Abuja. And I think this is another issue in Nigeria, this whole issue of abuse of power, to feel like, okay, if I know someone that is above rank, then I'll get away with whatever, right? Or this person will overcome whatever negative decision that you guys are going to come to. That is one of the reasons why we don't go far as a country. And I think this is one of the reasons why I personally feel like we need to be more clear with regards to punishment for bad behavior. So I know, as in there's one of this article, I'll put it up, that there are a lot of fines people get for overstaying, right? They just need to tell them, okay, you've overstayed your welcome, you're going to be fined this amount, pay this amount, and you can leave, right? I know when we shared this on the Travel to Niger Instagram page, a lot of people said, oh, but in America, if you overstay, they just let you leave the country and they won't give you a visa again. Every country has different rules. No one can dictate what one country's rules are for overstaying. In the UK, for example, if you overstay, I believe actually this year, they're planning on actually putting people that overstay potentially in prison for up to like 4 years or something like that, right? So in the UK, they might put you in prison for overstaying, right? So every country is different. So if Nigeria's rule is this, let's try and follow the rule. But I think Nigeria needs to be a little bit more transparent with what exactly the punishment of overstaying, what exactly is the due process for an overstayer, and they should just communicate that with people and enforce that, to avoid all this ruckus, because it just makes us look bad.
Okay, if you know the kind of person I call, you will not be telling me that you are Abuja. Well, really? Really?
Because you raised you.
I'll try to know your name. I'll try to get your name. Okay. I promise you that you'll be fired. If you are not fired, call me bastard.
You just said, I promise you. I think the husband is still at immigration. I promised one of the people there that are going to be fired. And if he's not, person's not fired, you just call him a B word. Power.
Okay.
I got it all on recording.
Don't worry.
Got it all on record right here. Yeah, I tried to explain my matter. I told you motherfuckers to give me my shit last night.
I want to know the kind of rank they have. Maybe, okay.
I told them.
She said, I told the mother to give me my last night. But guys, listen, Listen, look, I'm telling you. Let me tell you something. See, I blame Babatunde and Emeka because they allow the sisters to do all this stuff with them. And they think in their heads they can do this all over Africa. They think they could talk like this and do this all over Africa. And then they get their wake-up call. Ain't nobody you could run to. Ain't nobody you could cry to. You can't do none of that. And nobody cares. You can't play the damsel in distress. It ain't going to work. And like I said, I blame Emeka and Babatunde. Because Emeka and Babatunde allows them to talk to them this way. Knowing darn well, see, this is the problem. This is the thing about Emeka and Babatunde. This is the problem. And again, it ain't a problem. Listen, this is how you guys want to roll. That's how you guys want to roll. But see, Emeka and Babatunde would never allow a local Nigerian or African woman to disrespect or talk to him in this type of way. But Emeka and Babatunde will allow sisters from over here to talk to them this way. Then the sisters think that they can go to Africa and talk to anybody they want to like this. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Then you have situations like this.
Last night.
I feel like there's no way in hell that I would speak the way she spoke, and I would speak like that to immigration in the US, and they wouldn't like put me in a jail cell. I'm just saying, just for context, because I feel a lot of times, and this is not necessarily about the lady in question, but a lot of times people come to Nigeria, even Nigerians come to Nigeria, and they change their behavior, right? Because they get away with things.
Last night. Hey, get my bag, y'all. If my bag is not checked in, if they took my bag off the flight, give me my bag back. Yeah. They never gave me my bag back. And I kept asking all last night. I kept saying, hey, where's my bag? I don't want my bag to be on that flight. And she's like, no, the bag is not on the flight. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, when can I get my bag? My bag sat down there all night long. I know how and here's my thing, and I'm gonna show you. I'm sorry, babe. I know how I packed my shit, right? I know how I packed my shit. I know what I put in my shit. My shoe. This shoe was stuck over here. This shoe was down here at the bottom. Where's my black shoe? I had all my shit down here. Did I not, babe? I had all my shoes down here at the bottom. I put this down. I put this over here. This.
So it seems her luggage was maybe tampered with, and things were moved around, and maybe she lost a shoe or so. That's what she's saying here. So obviously that is not right.
Here and then here, and then I sat on top of it, all of the other stuff that I was going to take with me, and I had everything.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna play maybe 2 more videos for you, just to give more context, right? So this video is an update. When all the videos blew up on TikTok, she provided some.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. I woke up this morning and I see my videos have went viral. And I want to say,
Yeah, she's still in Nigeria, and this is definitely some Nigerian windows and Nigerian wall paint and Nigerian curtains. This is definitely a Nigerian bedroom right here. So she hasn't left Nigeria yet when she recorded this video.
I want to say thank you very much I appreciate the fact that you guys are letting my video go viral. But when I woke up this morning, I was reading a lot of these comments, and it's so crazy that adults can be such trivial, insignificant, ignorant beings, you know? And the level of maturity of some of these comments were just so funny. But here's what I want to address. And I was going to pin some of the comments, but you know what? I don't even want to give you that platform. You don't deserve that platform. The level of ignorance that you have displayed on my page, it just needs to be checked. Okay. So that's what I'm on here this morning to do. I'm going to check you in a professional way. So let me be clear about what is going on. I am an American. I am not an entitled American. I am a Black American, descendants of slaves that were captivated from the Caribbeans as well as from the Africa.
Hey, she went full FBA. She went full FBA on him. She said, I am a descendant of slaves that been captured. She went full, listen, she went full FBA on him. She went, hey, hold on, I need FBA ADOS to call in. I need y'all to call in. Man, is this what we said in the... She said she a foundational Black American. Man, listen, I blame Baba Tunde and Emeka. Hey, listen, Anthony Ali, who else FBA ADOS in there? Listen, I need y'all to call in. Hey, would she be considered an FBA ADOS tether? Is she a tether? Is she an FBA ADOS tether? Tethering in Nigeria? Is she a, hey, listen, is she she is an FBA ADOS? Oh man. Oh, let me read the super chat. Hold on. Guys, this is the first time I'm watching this whole thing. Shout out to the Lily. Emeka should have took her to the airport knowing her situation, but I guess he was too busy. Right. So listen, Emeka did so listen, hold on. Let's back up. So Emeka / Baba Tunde dropped her ass off at the airport and got ghost. Hey. Man. Oh, good. Okay, let's continue.
Continent. So when I speak about being entitled, and when I think about entitlement, I think about human basic rights entitlement. Everyone has those rights, no matter what country you're coming from or going to.
She's mentioning this because she said her civil rights were broken.
That is why the United Nations has instituted the international treaty law that protects the individual from which.
I'm not going to finish with this.
Hey, she went full. She said the international treaty laws. Oh man, can't make this shit up, bro. Hey, Hey, Mr. Anthony Ali, I need you to call in. Oh, here we go. Hey, you know what? Sip police here. Now, Sip police, you talking about I'm sipping. You talking about it's obvious you don't really like black women, bro, especially black American women. See, this is the stuff we see, and this is the problem. This is the problem with the black American, this is the community, the black American community. Y'all will defend effery like this. You guys defend effery. I love my sisters. I love them. I love my sisters, but I'm not defending effery. See, that's the difference. Y'all want to defend effery if it's coming from black American men. Y'all want to defend the effery coming from black American women. You guys want to defend effery in the black community, period. You cannot defend this. Anthony, I want you to call in and please defend international law. But listen, Anthony. She went, okay, see, you know what? Hold on, Anthony, I blame FBA ADOS. I blame FBA ADOS for y'all not putting it down. And it's y'all's fault why this sister had to go all the way to Nigeria to get her a Babatunde or a Mecca. So I blame FBA ADOS, Anthony Ali. I blame y'all. Even though by the definition I consider FBA ADOS, I blame y'all for not putting it down on this sister. And this sister had to go all the way to Nigeria to get her a Babatunde. So that's FBA ADOS. Y'all need to catch this L all the way around. I blame FBA ADOS for not taking care of this sister, and y'all, it's y'all's fault why this sister had to go all the way to Nigeria. It's y'all's fault.
I'm just gonna also just share this video. Somebody left a comment on her page and said, "We do." The officer stated the reasons clearly, because she said that, I think she was saying in her videos that no one understands what happened. And she said, person said, "We do." The officer stated the reasons clearly, which they did. It's just she overstayed her business visa. No country will allow that without consequences. If she was calm, and yeah, so she basically responded to that with this video saying that, showing the part of her visa saying valid from the 19th of May, 2021 as a response to that. But it doesn't matter if your visa is valid from the 19th of May 2021, because you're only allowed to stay 30 days and you have to extend. It's not, you're not just allowed indefinitely for that long. Guys, this is, I want to always call out, our government institutions for bad behavior. But the truth is, she overstayed her visa. Right? She overstayed her business visa and she knew to extend it for 1 month. And what I think may have happened was that somebody gave her some wrong information and probably told her that, "Oh, don't worry, you can stay, we'll get your green card done for you." But maybe that wasn't actually the legal way of doing things. And she took that information on and took it as gospel, right? And she was advised wrongly. What I wish she did was actually come out to say that, to say, "You know what, this is step by step why I did what I did." But she never created a video dedicated to that, which for me is a bit fishy, because if you just create a 1-minute video to say exactly what you've been told, what the process is, but everything was like, wishy-washy and not to the point with regards to why she feels she did not commit any crime. Because everything she referred to was, "Oh, my husband is a Nigerian. I can have an American husband. If I'm Nigerian, they're not going to care or treat me like an American because I'm not," right? So, yes, that's that. Like, I would love to know your thoughts on this video, but also I actually wanted to share another video that a lady did in response to this. She's a Niger wife, actually, based in the US, and she went to share her.
So, hello, my friends. So, I'm just coming to post about the situation that me and some of the other wives recently saw happen in Murtala Muhammad Airport in Lagos, Nigeria. So, this fellow wife was detained for overstaying her visa. And she is under the assumption that once you are automatically married, that you have rights as a Nigerian citizen. Let me go ahead and clear that up. You do not have rights as a Nigerian citizen. When you come in on a visa, okay, which all of us have to apply for, okay, you are given this. See this Nigerian visa? That's it, okay? Anytime you arrive into the country, that visa is supposed to be stamped. Your passport book should be stamped, okay? Y'all see that? You see those stamps, right? If you stay past 30 days, you see this bottom with the signature? That's an extension to stay another 30 days. The only time that you do not have to have an extension is when you have a Niger wife visa. Now, that is not automatically given to you. That also has to be applied for by your husband in Abuja. You cannot apply for it in Lagos. They have stopped doing it at the Lagos embassy. It must be applied for in Abuja. There are several documents that you have to fill out. Your husband has to provide his origin documents, your marriage certificate, photos, all of these things. It is not a God-given right for you to get to Nigeria because you're married and think you can stay as long as you want to.
I absolutely love, I'm going to keep playing this in a second, but I absolutely love this lady's sort of like counter to this viral video, because it's very easy for us to like paint every aspect of Nigeria in a bad way. Yes, as a country, we need to improve, but we need to call things out for what they are. And I think a lot of, the negative press that this video is getting, honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair because the lady, in my opinion, overstayed. I mean, in her opinion, she overstayed, right? You can't overstay and still be putting rank and be like, I know what I did. I know what, you can't do that, right? So anyway, let's keep watching.
Because you're married and think you can stay as long as you want to. That does not happen. I was just there for 3 months and I had to extend my visa twice. Okay. Now, that's about 30,000 Naira, which is about $70 US dollars, give or take each time. I did not apply for the Niger White visa because me and my husband are having other plans. So I don't know how many more times I'm going back to Nigeria. But it is not a God-given right. And you guys have to stop assuming that you can go somewhere because you're married and do what the hell you want to. Your husband cannot.
Yo, I want to give a shout out. See, listen, this is why I mess with Babatunde, Emeka, Kwame. They stay winning. She says she's not applying for her Nigerian wife visa because they got other plans. Yo, shout out to Babatunde for getting that American green card. Shout out to him. Yo, shout out to Babatunde for getting that green card. Shout out to him for getting the W. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Babatunde for the W. Guys, hit the like button. And shout out, and Marie, I never said that. I'm gonna put the link in the chat room here shortly. I never said that. Listen, I want my sisters to be happy. If you happy with Babatunde, Kwame, Diallo, Emeka, as long as y'all happy, listen, I just want you guys to be happy. That's all. I want y'all to be happy. And listen, any way I can set that up, you let me know. Now, I'm going to charge you for it. Listen, I'm going to charge you for it. But anyway, I can set my sisters up with love on the continent of Africa. I'm here for it, but I'm going to charge you for it. It's a fee. Definitely will be a fee. But I got you. I got them all over the place. I got them all over. Listen, sisters, if y'all tired of FBA and ADOS men, and if you want you an African man, I'll make it happen. I got African men on deck. If that's what you want, just let me know. From Senegal all the way down to Nigeria. I got every country in between. I got them. If you listen, sisters, if you looking for an African man, a West African man, right, that will let you roll your neck and flip your hair and snatch air, will tolerate it, but still treat you like the queen you are, I got you. But again, you're going to pay me for it. I got you, but you're going to pay me for it. I got you. Guys, hit that like button. Again, please hit the like button. But I ain't hating. Listen, if y'all tired of the FBA ADOS, man, I got you. No problem. But you going to pay me.
Not come to the U.S. and do what the hell he wants to because he's married to a U.S. citizen. The same thing applies in Nigeria. There are laws, and laws have to be followed. As far as this, addressing the treaty, it is factual that a country cannot just automatically take your passport. However, they can detain you. The only thing that the UN can do is step in and find out why your passport was taken. If they have valid reason for detainment, which is valid because you overstayed your visa as stated, as the passport states, as the stamp states, they have reason to detain you. So unfortunately, sis, on this one, I can't back you. I hope you are well. I hope you are being taken care of, but wrong is wrong. And I'm sorry, in this case, you were wrong. We all have to follow the laws. That's just it. Sorry.
I absolutely love this, right? I think it's really important as travelers when you go to other countries to understand that everyone has different laws, right? And if you're getting information, it's on you to verify that that information is the gospel truth, right? As I said before, I think somebody probably misinformed her a little bit with regard to, and whoever misinformed her should have helped her at that airport. It's because if she got the information from a credible immigration source, right? Like, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I don't mind if you have different opinions. That's what makes the world an incredible place. People having different opinions.
Listen, if you have not bought the documentary yet, again, if you have not bought the documentary, please visit documentary.searchforuhuru.com or searchforuhuru.com and buy the In Search of Uhuru documentary, streaming now at documentary.searchforuhuru.com. Again, if you have not bought the documentary, go and buy the documentary, everyone. Listen, we got about 450 people watching. All 450, you need a documentary. If you've already bought a documentary, a copy of the documentary, I appreciate the support. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Again, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. So make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com, searchforuhuru.com, and buy the documentary. I greatly appreciate it. The reviews are coming in. People love it. So again, guys, if you're watching this, go and buy a copy of the documentary. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, go ahead and call in. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, go ahead and call in. And Marie, I'm sorry. Like, I know the majority of sisters want their homegrown ADOS FBA men. That's fine. Not a problem. I'm saying those who don't, if you're looking for a man on the continent, I got you. I'll screen them. I'll do all the legwork for you. I'll screen them, make sure they legit, make sure y'all compatible, but you're going to pay me for it. Again, I got you. Because I know a lot of these dudes are in your guys' inboxes on social media. So listen, I have some brothers, some good brothers on the continent that might be a match for you if you're struggling with love here in America. And I ain't got no problem with setting y'all up. I ain't got no problem. No problem at all with setting y'all up. No problem. Judah, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hey, what's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man, following what you're doing, bro, you're doing great. I just wanted to say, things like this doesn't happen to just POP. It happens to everybody, man. Like I'm from Cameroon, right? And just the fact that I live in the United States and have a U.S. citizenship. If I go back to Cameroon, I'll have the same problem because one of my friends went back to Cameroon, right? And from the visa they gave him, he overstayed and he was locked up for almost 2 weeks. And he's a Cameroonian, but because he has American citizenship. So it's not just happening just to like foreigners, or it happens to even people from the same country. And other countries doesn't accept dual nationality. So you must have probably been from Cameroon and you have an American citizenship. Your country of origin doesn't accept you being a Cameroonian, and they tell you how long you have to stay in that country, and they can stop you from coming back in from a country that you originated from. So I don't believe it's a good thing. I think Africans have to make laws that will benefit everybody, and just it's just chaos and just complete chaos for Black people around the world to travel to a place where they think they came from, and you have challenges that is happening, right? So I really don't have much to say, but what that lady went through, just the fact that she is married to a Nigerian, but still, Africans need to smoothen their laws to everybody, like make it softer. It's too harsh. It's just too harsh. I mean, people should be able to live in a country like for how long they want to. If you're Black in Africa, that should be easy. Instead of having these laws to go do this, stay this, and go renew, it doesn't make sense at all. So that's it.
All right, thank Mr. Vagabond, go ahead, bro.
Hello?
Bala, go ahead, Bala.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was the next dude. Hey, how's it going? Search for Uhuru, and greetings to the rest of the people watching. Beautiful good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are on earth. So my opinion on this whole thing is kind of it's kind of tricky, I would say, because I think there is a mindset, or there's some sort of disconnect, between how we operate here in the U.S. and how things go on in other parts of the world. In this case, Nigeria. I understand it might have been a little frustrating for the lady, just everything else that was going on regarding her being detained and so forth. But if you're married to a Nigerian, and so I would assume that in some way you're interested in seeing Africa become better, because you're married to someone that's from the continent, and you're from the U.S. You see how things work here. You go through airports, whether it's a train station or whatever. They have systems in those places, and the best way to get around these systems is certainly not by coming there and being as belligerent as she was, or at least as she appeared to be. We don't know the factors leading up to when she actually became very aggressive, or and saying the things she was saying. We don't know what led up to that, but I would imagine that whatever systems that are in place here in the U.S., you would one way or the other try to respect the system and follow the rules and regulations, the laws, because there's no way, just by carrying on and insulting and being mad and stuff like that, that's not going to get you out of following the rules here in America. And I think when we come to Africa, we should also recognize the fact that they have rules. We have laws, we have regulations at our airports, our seaports, the train stations, the bus stations, just wherever. When you come to these places, I think it makes sense to try to maximize restraint and find out what exactly needs to be done, how you can get around whatever might be frustrating you, rather than the way she was actually carrying on. I thought it was disrespectful. I thought there is and I think she's actually FBA, the Foundation of Black American. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm imagining she's that as well. And I think just by coming there and thinking that you can just carry on like that and actually get away with it, that's unfortunate. Okay. Here in America, we see people just being able to talk to people anyway, especially women, like sometimes have no regard for men. They just talk to men anyway, insult men. And I'm not saying men are the law of God and gospel, but when you come to another place, the culture is different, the system is different. You can't just talk to people like that and expect to somehow be sympathized with. I felt very, very disappointed to see how she was carrying on. And then when I saw the replay after she came back, I guess a day later, and tried to talk through what had happened, I'm sure she saw for herself that she was making no sense. To talk about just the points that she was trying to make just did not come across as logical at all. So this is something that my American brothers and sisters, when you
Hey, did we lose him? Guys, can you hear me, or did we lose him? I can't hear him.
I think we lost him.
You
okay,
lost me?
Let me pass the.
You lost me? Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'll try to readjust. But I'm here now. I don't know if you can hear me, but
yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
You hear me? Okay. Yeah. I apologize, man. I think I had a call coming. I'm using my phone for this stream. But yeah, so pretty much, just not to be long-winded, I think when we come to the continent, guys, and we want you to come, we love you to come. I'm one of the guys. I'm from Africa as well. I'm from West Africa, Liberia, and I'm big on wanting to see my African American brothers and sisters come to the continent. But when you come, there are rules, there are laws, there are regulations. If you're not going to do certain things in America, don't think Africa is below your standard. And you can just come and do whatever or act however and expect those kinds of attitudes to be accepted. You need to be respectful when you come, follow the rules, follow the laws. And I'm sure, just by the way she approached it, if it had been done differently, the outcome would have been a little different. I'm sure she probably would have been able to maybe fly out that day. But it's just a matter of how you talk to people. You don't come there. The Africans are not below anybody's standards. There are rules, there are regulations, there are laws. So come there, follow these rules, and things will be a lot better. But we want to see our African American brothers and sisters come there, back to the continent, come back home, reinvest, find those opportunities that are limitless on the continent, and make amazing, strides at those things. But when you come there, just remember there are rules, there are regulations, and yes, Africa is developing, but that does not give you the right to say, oh, you're not developed yet, so I can treat you anyway. Nigeria is a powerful country, on the west coast of Africa. Every other country has reasons to be respected. So when you come there, just be yourself, respect the rules, the regulations, and things are going to pan out very well for you. But the bottom line is, I'm excited to see more African Americans though coming to the continent. I'm super excited for that. Thanks for that.
All right.
All right, no problem. We'll go ahead, Black Lion. We'll pass to you, Alan. Go ahead, Black Lion.
Okay.
Hey, guys, thanks for letting me on the show. And okay, first I want to start with the Brittney Griner situation. I'll be bluntly honest. A lot of us, especially the men, particularly black men, we don't give a fuck about about what she's going through. A lot of us don't give a fuck. And I say that because at first they, like in our social media, they made the issue like a whole racial issue. It's like, okay, what happened? The dumbass literally had weed on her in another country. And what everybody with common sense knows, anywhere outside of America, you have anything on you, especially something like such as marijuana, which is the majority of it is legal in other countries, it's damn near they treat that the same as cocaine. And when we saw the news about the reason why, a lot of us like, I don't get it. She broke the rules. She's in Russia, or they have different regulations. What the hell did you expect? There's penalties literally in every country, and a lot of countries with their penalties, especially for foreigners, they don't hold back. there's laws to make the average foreigner in any country make you want to stay out. So this is pretty sad and pathetic. Like she deserves what she got. You can't literally do that kind of bullshit and expect to get away with it. She's not sorry for what she did. She's sorry because she got caught. That's just the bottom line. And a lot of us, we're not going. A lot of us, especially the men, we're not going for this. And it's truly pathetic. There's literally this lack of common sense. And the sad part is, I'll be honest with you. And the only reason why, like, a lot of people, especially the sisters, are supporting her and everything. One, she's a black female, and because she's a lesbian. And those are the thing is, a black woman in our community, particularly in America, the two things that's important is feminism and LGBT. And she fits those two narratives pretty well. Those are two things black women in our community defend. So of course they're going to defend her second nature, like you showed the brother. If the black man was in the same situation, if he was smuggling weed like in Sweden or something, he would be in jail. And a lot of black people, men and women, will say, especially sisters, that's your fault. Why'd you do that, dumbass? Why? What do you think? How do you think you get away with it? Etc. So they apply. They all would have pretty much said a form of accountability. That's the only main reason why they're defending the system, trying to make it into a so-called racial issue, because the black feminism and the LGBT support that our majority of our women in America support. That's it. Nothing more. That's just the harsh truth. That's common sense. Like, for example, I'm like, and this is so sad. It's black common sense. Like, for example, remember that a lot of people saw this on it was like what 3 or 4 years ago. A white boy who went to North Korea with a lot of tourists. He was told by the North Korean officials and the tour guides, do not take anything that belongs in this hotel room or anything from the facilities of Korea, ever. They were told that since day one. And when the white boy, I think on the last day when they were about to leave North Korea, he took a couple of items from the hotel room. They were checking their stuff. They found the items and said, "We just told not to take this." Next, you know, he was literally he only have a trial. He was on his way to jail immediately. And next, you know, and this went viral on ABC and everything else. And the white parents, especially white moms, like, free my son, free my son. He didn't mean to be just like, bitch. They're like, he's in North Korea. They are strict as hell. They tell you from the jump street how they roll. The citizens are scared of their own damn country. And his white privileged ass think he can get away with it. And it took almost a year to get his ass out. After what they did to him, it was wrong, but at the same time, those are the consequences.
But then he end up getting shipped to America and he died like a day later.
Yeah, he died a couple days later. They did some serious tortures, but that's what North Korea was known for. They're known for harsh punishments, but especially to their own citizens. But foreigner, you just made it worse for yourself. And a lot of us like, it's sad that he died, but he was warned. But you were told by multiple North Koreans who come to this country about the horrors of North Korea. You weren't even told by the officials when you and the tourists traveled over there. They said, don't take anything. You can learn, you can see, you can do this, but don't take anything here because it's property of North Korea. And he did it. And next thing he went to jail. Took him a year to get him the hell out. And so much media propaganda and everything, and a lot of lawyers. Then he died a week later. It's like, that's the consequences. I can't feel bad for him. Your white, arrogant, privileged ass put you in that position. I see no different with Brittney Griner, the same thing. You deserve the consequences. You, like a lot of people like that, is like, no, you deserve what you got. It's like that ass whooping your dad never gave, your parents never gave you, and that's why your mentality is the way it is. So no, it's like we don't give, a lot of us, especially black, don't give a damn. One, we don't support chicks who try to look like us, act like a masculine freaking man. And two, you're in enemy territory. Russia and America don't like each other. You went to Russia to play basketball. Okay, fine. Then you got caught for doing it for your stupid ass deeds. Next thing you know, you want the America that you left behind to help your ass get out because of you fucked up. No, that this lack of accountability and lack of common sense needs to stop. That is ridiculous. So no, a lot of us, especially as men, don't feel bad for this bullshit because it's least like a stupidity. She got what she deserved. Face the consequences. I hope she gets through. But same time, no. That's it. Next, secondly, talk about the immigrant issue, real quick.
All right, you got 30 seconds. I'm gonna pass it to Alex. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Black.
Yeah, sure. That was a disgrace, and shit like that is the reason why that was horrible. that was really like a common sense. Black people like that are that alone can start the stereotypes for why African Americans are going to be hated in Africa. That shit is like, that's why Marcus Garvey said, I have no plans taking all black people back to Africa. There are no good blacks over there. There won't be good over here. You see, that's that nigger culture a lot of us black people, especially the black men, try to get away from. And the sad part is, this is going to be that alone is kind of scary. Like you said, the desperate Africans who try to manipulate the women. You can bring your own corruption to your own country. You don't realize it, and it's just like it's just unbelievable how stupid we really are. It's just sad. I'm done. It's just too stupid for me. I'm done. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I first of all, I do feel I do have some empathy for Brittney Griner. 9 years is a very harsh sentence, but I mean, what do you expect? They the harsher the sentence is, the better bargaining chip she becomes for any possible trade or deal. So we should have expected this. I thought it was ridiculous that our president Biden came out and said that he thought this was unacceptable and this and that. He's just covering his own tracks. He needs to concentrate on getting a deal in place to get her back, or tell people that he doesn't have a plan on doing it. It's really that simple. What I wanted to broaden out the thing to is in this case with the woman who is American with a Nigerian husband. She needs to understand that every place is not America. And that the immigration rules that she's dealing with in another country are those of the other country, and that she needs to abide by them. Secondly, this idea that you can scream, cuss, and shout your way out of any situation, and people are willing to back down. I blame us here in America for that, because we tend to acquiesce to that type of behavior, if for no other reason than for them to just leave us alone. And they think that there's power in that kind of behavior, and then they embarrass themselves as they go abroad. And then as far as Brittney Griner is concerned, she it's part of her American arrogance. I'm glad that the judge actually told her that he didn't believe her when he said that she did it on accident. She did not do this on accident. She did not forget. She packed it on purpose, and it was obvious she packed it on purpose. And then she ended up getting, the result that she got. While it's too harsh, it's a really big lesson for Americans to not go abroad and think and insist upon American privilege. That you can do something, and that somehow the rules of that other country apply to you. I'm just really shocked that again, our president and Americans are out here telling folks that this is unacceptable that she did this. Well, no, Amon Shumpert just got picked up yesterday for doing the same damn thing in Texas, and he's facing jail time and a fine. Not as much as Brittney Griner does, but that kind of behavior is not acceptable anywhere. And we need to, we can't as a people put ourselves out there supporting that crap. That's just how I feel about it.
All right, go ahead, Chrissy.
Yes, hi everyone. On the, I'll touch on both. So on the case of the woman in Nigeria, I think that, as we're having these conversations about people going back and what the relationship is between Black people in the West and Black people in Africa, I think it's a bad look. And I think that there are folks who have a concern of, okay, you want to come back to Africa, but what kind of attitude are you coming with? You know what I mean? And if you are unable to respect Black authority, because that's what the Nigerian government and their TSA, their whole system is, it's Black authority. You might not be used to that, but if you're unable to have a respect for Black authority, then you need to stay over here, because that just can't work, So I think that when we talk about repatriation, we also have to deal with our own slave mentalities as relates to a Black face in a high place, and having the same respect for that Black face that you would have for a white face in a high place. When it comes to the Brittney Griner thing, I looked up the whole thing that she had. It's like a cartridge, and I guess it has oil in it. I thought CBD oil was like aches and pains. You don't smoke it, right? It's not something you take, isn't it?
Right,
You can
right,
smoke
but
it.
it's still you can smoke it. Okay, you can smoke it.
You
You
can
can
smoke
smoke
it, but she didn't have CBD oil. She had hashish oil.
And what is that exactly? That's
Hashish
something you smoke.
is a derivative. It's a derivative of hash. Is a derivative
Okay.
of marijuana. So
Okay.
that's what she had. She had it and it broke it down in the oil and put it into her vape pen. Very illegal.
Oh,
And
then
she
you smoke it. Okay, I
yeah,
understand. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So with that, she shouldn't have done that. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe she just sometimes we make mistakes and just kind of, when she's traveling other places, she take it and she just think, hold on, you're going to Russia. We all are human. We all make mistakes. Was she going to get jail time? I understand Russia has their system. 9 years, I think, is very harsh. I mean, to me, it's not like a crack pipe. I don't know what their system is. But one thing
I
is
agree. I agree. I agree as well. 9 years is harsh. I mean, I agree.
yeah, that's a bit. But one thing I'm noticing, like even you, Dinus, like before when you said that you love your sisters X, Y, and Z, then somebody said stop simping. I'm confused. Is saying that you love Black women, is that simping? Because I don't understand where we going with this whole simping part. What is simping?
It's simply so she's don't worry about it. It's okay.
Is that a
I
joke?
love my
Okay.
sister.
Yeah, because I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, he I don't know. Simply's might have been kind of serious, but
okay,
I
yeah.
love my
But
sister. But go
yeah,
ahead.
and one thing I noticed, even with I think it was Black Lion say, a lot of Black men don't feel bad for her because she's trying to act like a Black man. I don't know of her if she's gay or not, she butch, that's what she want to do with her life, that's her prerogative. But I don't know of her disrespecting Black men in any way. This whole I don't know, I know there's this sentiment, there's like this resentful sentiment that I get a lot of Black men online have towards Black women, and I'm gonna have to call it out. This I don't know if the idea is that, if we're kind of no nonsense and really harsh with the women, then we're more masculine. I don't get it. I mean, why can't you can say, yes, she deserved a repercussion, but why not you can't have a little compassion? You know what I mean? This kind of no nonsense, no compassion, throw her into the jail, give her the guillotine. I don't get it. So I think that's something that's part of that gender war stuff that we have to look into, because that's a problem, that you cannot have a level of compassion for your own women. You know what I mean? Yes, accountable. Should she be accountable? Absolutely. But there's this almost this no nonsense. If you're not the perfect cookie cutter little person, then throw you in the garbage. That's a problem. So I wanted to address that too.
All right, go ahead, Mashana. We'll pass it to T. Khalid. Go ahead, Mashana. Meet yourself.
Good day, panelists. How are you? Wow. Okay, I wanted to talk about, I'm going to touch on both issues because this is important as people who are trying to expat, which is the a mentality of Americans, or I won't say mentality because we're all not the same. But I heard someone call it the nigger attitude. And because I lived in all communities, and I'm ADOS in FBA, and I noticed how some of our sisters, yes, can act a little aggressive and a little ignorant, and some of that is a part.
Oh my God, Mashana, hold on, stop the show, Mashana. Are you actually admitting that? Oh my goodness.
God, shut up!
Hell is Listen,
Okay.
hell has frozen over. Hell has frozen over.
I want to be
Oh my God.
honest. When I saw her response, I cringed, but I understand. See, that's going to be an issue. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because there was a brother, JT friend, who's in Kenya. A year ago, one of his close friends died and was shot in a full Fabaso, I can't get the name, but it was in Kenya.
Burkina
Faso.
Right.
And he had, his family had to get his body. So I said to myself, because I've seen a lot of mental illness in our communities, and that really has to be just because there is a problem. So if you go over there to any country, especially America is known for making an example out of people, period. And we're in war. That's another thing. I don't understand why. Even if you play basketball, we're in war now. This is no joke. Russia, they're going to make an example out of your ass. They're going to try to play you like never before. And it can end up being something serious. Now, I hope Biden don't take it to the next step, because that LGBT thing too, that pride, I'm gay pride, they probably was super her ass up like, yo, you can represent us. You can represent the LGBT community out there. Can you hear me? Okay. You can represent us.
I agree. I agree. And Russia, so from my understanding, it's illegal in Russia, but it's kind of frowned upon. Like it's still not.
Well,
that
the way they're rolling, they trying to make it LGBT strong globally. Okay. So that's where they're going with that, bottom line. And I don't understand why she would want to travel now too, because that was suspect to me. Why didn't her manager tell them, well, at this time, I think we should decease all traveling. So like I said, that is a problem. I don't know if Africa would accept, I'm not saying accept or take in consideration oppression, mental illness for real, because if you're an expat and you know how we could get down here in America in certain hoods, we're ready to throw down and fight, and that becomes part of the culture. But then you're ready to leave oppression and you bring it to another country. You see what I mean? So your life is kind of at stake. So somebody needs to educate the expat. This is the laws that you cannot do seriously. Like you cannot bring that attitude to Nigeria in certain places, because they will murder your ass quick. And explaining it to them like that, and they will have to self-examine themselves. That's going to be hard and crucial, because that's something that doesn't happen overnight. So before they leave this country with that culture, they're going to really have, somebody needs to tell them something. It has to be seriously, I don't know, put in writing something in order to avoid conflict, because that could turn into something else in Africa too. It could be, that could be an excuse. This is why we had to kill these Black Americans over there, because they was coming with that attitude and they was disrespectful. And then there will be another type of tribal war. You understand? So that's a big problem. That's all I wanted to say. Okay. And
guys,
there is domestic violence too over there too. That's another issue. Thank you.
Okay, guys, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. If you're in the chat room, hit the like button. T. Khalid, go ahead.
Yeah, man, Brittney Griner is in the worst situation she can possibly be, and this is really political. And this is also, Black people's voting patterns, which I'm going to get into all that at once. But the thing is, what we have to understand is Russia and United States is probably at the lowest point that they ever been in history. And I would say very close to a war, because United States is right now actively giving Ukraine weapons to kill Russians. So, we got to understand, Brittney Griner being a high-profile WNBA player, of course they're going to give her the max sentence. Yes, she is going to definitely be an example. And it's not going to, I doubt that the Russians is going to just do a prisoner swap. They're probably going to want the United States to lift some sanctions. They're also going to probably want the United States to butt out of the Ukraine-Russian war.
Hey, T,
that
T,
ain't going to happen.
Listen, T, let me, I'm glad you called in. I was saying the same thing. T, I'm going to predict this. All right. In order to get, what's her name? Brittney Griner, for the, I guess, prisoner swap to happen, the U.S. is going to have to give up Zelensky.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have to give up Zelensky. Like I want to be careful what I say. In order to get for Brittney Griner to be released, Zelensky's gonna have to disappear. Whether a bag full of money, to the U.S. or or whatever, or he mysteriously is poisoned or something along those lines.
Yeah,
like I see, like I really see that happen. Like Russia saying, "Look, if you want this bag, all those weapons, stop it. We want Zelensky." And you know what? Then we'll send Brittney Griner home. Like I really,
exactly.
I was saying that the other day. Like that's what it's gonna take.
Yeah, man, because you got to think about, would the United States do the same thing? Like, just think about it. If let's say the United States and Canada had bad relations, and we was literally in war with Canada, and then Russia was arming Canada, keeping Canada afloat, matching our military strength. And let's say a Russian basketball player broke the law. Man, of course, we're going to give that Russian player the maximum, and we are going to demand more than a prisoner swap. So yeah, man, Brittney Griner is at the worst point. And the reason why I said this is a political thing. So I'm listening to her family, and they're like, Joe Biden, we voted for you, so please help. And then Brittney Griner.
Hold on, let me interject. What were they expecting from the man that said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black"? Like, what were they expecting from this guy?
Exactly. That is the problem. That's that mentality where I'm just going to vote because I've been told how to vote. I'm never going to do my own research. Everyone who doesn't vote like me is a coon. And it's that black immaturity when it comes to politics. Whereas when matters like this happen, you get let down again. I mean, Brittney Griner, this was her first time voting in history. And we have to understand that Trump was trying to mend relations with Russia. He wasn't the best, but he was at least trying. So of course, when you have Biden come in, and they already think Russia intervened in the election, of course the relations is going to get worse. And Brittney Griner, she goes and flies to Russia and breaks the law. I mean, now you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. And then instead of black people, and in general, when I'm looking at these black media critics talk about this, they're just like almost like begging Biden to release it. Like, Biden, can you please help us? Please help us. Like, no, demand. Be like, look, man, we give you our vote every 4 years. You better do something or you're not gonna get our vote. But all this just please and begging it's just frustrating me. But yeah, man, I think Russians played their card well. I want her to come back, but give her 9 years and put pressure on Biden. I mean, that was a smart move on the Russians to see what happens with that. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about that Brittney Griner situation. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that lady at the airport situation is once again a lot of sadly a lot of our people don't travel. So, they do bring that American entitlement and mentality to these other countries. And these other countries just not putting up with it. Like, I move different in other countries. I don't stick out. I obey the laws. I'm not messing around because I know that I don't have enough representation in these countries to get away if I do anything wrong. So, yeah, man, that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think Zelensky is either going to have to go on exile and, with a nice severance package, he'll get probably 150, 75 million, him and his family, or he's going to get his coordinates given and he's going to be taken out. That's going to have to be added to the package for Brittney Griner. All right, go ahead, JUK, then we'll pass it, go back to Africa.
Well, Amirdynast, thanks for letting me on. Peace to everybody on the panel. Okay, with this Brittney Griner situation, okay, I think particularly off of what the brother just said about her family and people's expectations, I think that they thought if Trump can get LiAngelo Ball from China for stealing, and if he can get ASAP Rocky from Sweden from an R-word potential situation, I think they thought we went out, we marched, we supported him, we backed him with our vote. They thought that sister girl Kamala Harris was going to show up and here's the thing. I think anyone who's traveled and with sense knows how severe international drug trafficking like situations are. We've heard these stories about what happens to these people in like Thailand. Like actually, right here in the UK, there was a story literally actually a few months ago. Similar thing, the oil in the vape pen, right? Some boy, he didn't even pack it. Somebody else in his crew did, and they admitted it. They didn't care. They had him. I think they still have him locked up in Thailand or something like that. You mentioned the Philippines. It just has to be known and understood. You don't bring things over the lines. And sadly, within like high level athletics at an international level, back in the day, it used to be like less a severe thing because let's say you got a brand of cough medicine in America. If you took that with you, it wouldn't hold the same level of severity of crossing that over lines. But now with, you know, medical, you know, marijuana products and all them types of things, it's like you still have to remember you're crossing international borders with what they classify as drugs. And it can't be overstated. You are going to Russia. Like, as an American, I am absolutely shocked that she did, like, and I get it, in the real world, yeah, there are Americans who may have been or come and go from Russia or whatever and all that, but like, you've got to be joking. You mean to tell me you didn't think these people would treat you harsh? And now, I agree with you, Dynas. 9 years is harsh in my opinion, but equally, I also understand that if you're going to go and cross international borders with something that they call contraband, particularly at, quite frankly, the single worst time in US-Russian relations, then it's unfortunate. Politics is playing a part with it. And it's not right that it should, but it's the facts. It's the real world. And you're right. It's going to take a big trade or a big political give from the US side to get her out. I think, quite frankly, if the sisterhood or if all these people that voted for Biden are upset, I think truth be told, go shut down the streets, go to Washington and start making your voices heard. You put him in power. He said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Sister girl was out there stepping with the AKAs. Go fetch your girl from Russia. And I don't think that, you know, again, I feel so sorry for the fact that, well, they thought that they were going to get help and they didn't. But other than that, if anyone out there is going to travel, please, international drug trafficking charges are not a joke. No country, especially countries that have got some level of hostility to the West or whatever, they're not going to listen to you. They don't care. They don't care about your whinging. And this brings me on to the next one with the African-American sister in the video. I too am always happy to see the diaspora from all over coming to the continent. But I think this is something where people need to remember the word sovereignty, and that respect is not just given to high income nations. You don't show up at an airport in Sweden or in Italy or in Britain or in France or whatever, running your mouth off because you know the law is absolute and they are so quick to play with you. And I think, unfortunately for that sister in that situation, she just learned that Nigeria is no different.
Right. Absolutely, man.
And if you're going to go out and if you're going to put it heavy, particularly at airports, you got to be very careful because there's always going to be armed police. There's always going to be a potential for you to get locked up further. And with connecting flights and other aspects, and again, international law, you're not a citizen of their country, so they can treat you a whole lot different. I don't want to see that. I want to see us obviously develop better visa systems and better, like, there should be companies, you know, ready to teach you, hey, if you show up to Nigeria, this is our culture, this is how we do it, just don't do this and don't do this. You know, like, but it's just like, no, you're not going to get away with that. And in Africa, forget it. You've only really got a little bit of time with that before eventually someone's going to put you in the back room.
Right. Hey,
all right, go back to
Africa.
Africa. Well, hold on. Let's pass it. Go back to Africa. No, go back to Africa.
It's good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Well, let me put my take on this right here, and I think this is something that I think most could consider the fact that, you know, we talk about white privilege, and you know, it's amazing that there's this American privilege that we think we have, even those who have never even left America, that think that, you know, our laws should apply to everybody else's laws. And one of the things while I was in the military and being overseas in different Muslim states and in different other countries is that the first thing they say is that America tries to put her mouth on the other countries' policies and the way they do business. And this is a shame that we would sit here and try to um, measure other countries' laws to America law. Me personally, I mean, she got what she paid for. She pled guilty and she faced whatever penalty that is coming her way. Now, the interesting thing I know everybody has agreed is that, you know, who she or what she stands for hasn't come to her rescue. You know, I was just looking here, reading at an article of who are the Americans held captive abroad, and they list several countries out here, from countries that we have that they have U.S. citizens according to the U.S. Adversaries. Excuse me, according to the U.S. foreign policy, that it has Iran, Russia, Venezuela. They even have Rwanda, Syria, of people being detained in these countries because of breaking laws or being accused of doing whatever it is. But I mean, you know, when I was watching a video today when they had her behind, you know, the jail cell there, and her attorneys are sitting there, and she's smiling and she's, you know, laughing. And to me, I was like,
Go. Let me interject real quick. I watched the whole like proceeding. I didn't understand it because it was in Russian. But when
yeah,
she first came in, she was laughing, smiling, giggling. I'm like, okay, they must have said she's not guilty.
they must
She
have
must
about to
have got
let her
off.
go.
Or listen, something Biden did something behind the scenes, and she knows
Yep,
she about to get
yep,
off. But then
yep,
listen, when her lawyer started whispering in the cage and translating, you should
yep.
have saw her mood just.
Yep. She started shaking her head, you
Yeah.
know, but because when she and they did a selfie. I posted it on a video I put on my channel, you know, her turning and her they doing a selfie with her behind the cell. She's smiling and joking. And then all of a sudden when that sentence came down, oh, she's shaking her head, she's distraught. One of the guys asked her, is like, you know, do you have anything to say to your family? She remains quiet. I thought she was going to get off too by the demeanor she was showing. But my thing is that, I think it was the sister here who was saying here, I think it was Christy, whatever, about, you know, black men giving black women a hard time. You know, Griner, does she even consider herself a woman? Though she is, you know, would she even go for defense for women? You know, I mean, I find it very amazing that women don't even recognize how a woman like Griner disrespects them. But they defend her. You know, nothing against where she wants to stand. If that's where she wants to stand, where she stands. But she's found out very quickly to whatever she holds her allegiance to has not come rescue her. And so we have to get out of this mindset of American privilege or this superiority that we can go around the globe browbeating countries because they stand on their law. And when somebody who Griner is only worth $200,000 a year, how are you going to do a trade with her? I mean, who is she? She's not in the political arena. She's not no Pan-African. She's not standing up affiliated with any group besides the WBNA, the WNBA. I mean, to me, this whole talk about switching and trading doesn't make no sense to me. She's not even valuable to even do some type of trade or anything like that in my eyesight. The WNBA.
She's politically relevant right now. That it's not that she's the biggest person. She's not the LeBron of the dub. Well, I don't know, but she's not like
How is she
LeBron James
political?
or David Beckham because she's now got the attention. And it's only I believe it's only a matter of time. And you can tell how genuine these people aren't by the fact that they're not pissed now. But they will grow and they will nag and they will start to bring in all of her other kind of, identities and all that type of stuff. And for the Russians, it would be, from their position, I can see exactly what they're doing. They're going to hold her until they can get something that they want. I think the move to try and press for, some sort of change in the sanctions and all that type of stuff, they'll use it. And unfortunately, the Russians are very good at playing the media game. That's my thing. But I'll tell you one thing I will throw in, though, to support your point, which is we have to also remember other countries' prisons are very different to our own. And we need to remember we do not want to wind up locked up in some other countries' jails. Because I remember rapper Freddie Gibbs got in trouble on a potential R word in Germany or Switzerland. And when he came out, he spoke about what it was like being locked up with real Nazis from there.
He did like a year over there.
That's not pretty. That's not pretty. That's not pretty. Coming from Europe, I will say this: Russia is one of the last places a black person wants to be in the prison. Like literally last of the bottom places. So she's not played this well, and she's got herself in a real problem, and I think she'll do minimum 5.
And she's American, and you gotta understand, like, Americans are hated over there. Like, I mean, we sitting there and we sanctioning their country, trying to affect their economy, and then we are funding their neighbor to be hostile towards them. I mean, our government is acting ridiculous when it comes to that Russian and Ukraine war instead of staying out of it. So, of course, the Russians are going to make an example of her. And, what black people should do, especially if, I love how you said, Jay, about the black women getting in the streets. You will get in the streets under Trump, but it's like you won't dare to challenge Biden. It's almost as if we challenge him, we're going to lose power and authority. No, get on the streets the same way you would do Trump and raise hell. But they don't do that. It's just crazy. When it comes to a Democrat-ran regime, our people don't do no protesting. We don't do anything. We just sit out and wait, and then we become woke when a Republican gets in power. It's not going to work that way. And that's why nothing's going to happen with Brittney Griner. She's going to sit in Russia, man.
10% of the energy that they had on that woman's march. Can you imagine if 10% of the energy they had on that woman's march was put in to say, hey, let's do what we do, but we'll see.
But Brittney Griner wife, they did a big press conference at the National Action Network, and they had Al Sharpton speak on behalf of because that's what they do. The protesting and the rioting. That's what they known for. So I guess that was their reason for the sports elite and Brittney Griner's woman or wife, however you want to call it. They chose that venue to do the begging and pleading for a reason. So when you mention why don't they go out there and protest, they did go exactly to that organization that exactly does that.
Well, she's actually going to be in a work camp. They've already said that she's going to be doing hard labor.
Like in Siberia.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, it's Russia. Like, they don't play. Like they do not play in Russia whatsoever. Like, them jails are not a joke.
It's not a joke. And she put herself in a horrible position when she decided to do this, and she did it at the worst time. And all this woke stuff that people tried to do and virtual signaling that people were trying to do in the American media. What was it? Her Congresswoman Jackson Lee was out there calling Putin names and stuff like that, thinking that was going to help. They've done nothing but make this situation worse for Brittney Griner. Megan Rapinoe was out there making the situation worse for Brittney Griner. President Biden out here telling people that she's wrongfully detained. and this is unacceptable, is doing nothing but making it worse for her. And now they're asking for a guy that United States doesn't even have. They were asking for a guy who's locked up in Germany. They were trying to get the United States, by virtue of the United States, they were trying to get us to free one of their guys who was sentenced for murder in Germany, in addition to Victor Bout we have. So they're asking for the world, and they're going to they gave her that sentence because the longer the sentence they gave her, the more urgent it becomes for us to go ahead and make a deal for her, and it raises her value as a bargaining chip.
And why is Biden?
Hold on. What's that? Let's pass it to Missy Barr. Go ahead, Missy Barr.
Alafia to everyone. I pray and trust that all you are doing well, as well as your family, right? High vibration to all original people wherever we are on the planet. I don't know. I think if you look at all this conversation that Brother Dynast have been putting out, all the questions, it's basically the same thing. Black people, we talking about the little things, why big things is going on in the world, right? We are reduced to talking about somebody that should know the law, right? Brother Amir posed a question. Initially, he was talking about the sister that was in Nigeria. Let me tell you something. If you don't want to pay bribe, tip, whatever they ask you to pay in Nigeria, you don't have to. I was coming back to the US after being out of the country since I was a baby. My dad, we went to the airport, right? We got to the airport. They took our passport, my sister and I. They checked this passport. Apparently, the person that was supposed to sign the passport was not this person that signed it. They told my dad to pay more money. My dad said no. They said, we're going to put them in jail. My dad said, they're American citizens, go ahead and put them in jail. My dad refused to pay the money. So they put us in the airport jail overnight. We pack our bag the next day. They put us on the plane. American citizens get used to going to jail. That's what it is. If you don't want to pay, don't worry about it. You just deal with the punishment. You see how ridiculous that sister was? We already have a bad reputation, Black people, wherever we go in the world. We already have a bad reputation. Either that reputation is earned or not. You show up in a country, it only takes you a few minutes to go to the airport and say, I need a few more days to stay over. They will extend your passport. You didn't do that. But Nigerians particularly are extremely generous, if I may say that, because all you have to do is to pay maybe 5,000 naira, or less than that. You get an extension, you go about your way. You didn't do all that, but you want to show your Americanism. Your Americanism, the law that does not protect you in the country where you are coming from. In America, she would have shot dead. Right then and there, they would have been beaten out to death. We know how American police get down. So what you can't do in America, you go to a Black country and you want to show your ass over there. This is what we do, that when Black men are talking to us, when we're talking to Black men, we don't have respect for our men. But if she's talking to a little Latino man, she's going to give those men absolute respect. No matter how little they are, you see. But you show up into a Black country and you want to let them know you're married to a Nigeria. Listen, when I was going back to Nigeria in 2019, my dad passed away. I don't have a Nigerian passport. I only have American passport. I have to follow the rules. They will not let me get on that plane. They don't give a shit if my father was the king of the entire country. You're going to have to go by the rules. I have to stay over a few more days and get my paper in order, right? Is it not better for you to do things right than to go get to the country and be hugging your right and your silver right and your bronze right that you don't have in the country where you're coming from? Is it not better for you to be safe and sorry than to be sorry? Now moving on to the other sister that went to Russia of all the places. What do I look like showing up in Russia to begin with? Let's assume because you even show up there, why are you showing up anywhere? Not even a Tylenol, unless if your doctor prescribe it. Black people, I don't know whether you are Black Africa or you are Black in this country. You better get with the program that the world is. They're doing big things. They're making decisions. They're planning the next 200-300 years of what the law who is going to rule the world. And you here talking about you're gonna have to put Brittney Griner or whatever her name is. You have to shock that part of the game. Right?
Right.
When I was coming to the US, let me tell you the advice that my father gave me so that you will know how my father get down. My father says, if you commit a crime, I will testify against you. Do not go to that country and destroy my name. That's how my father, that is love right there. You see? I remember that. Even when I'm hungry, even if something get me, if I want to steal something, I remember the advice, the love my father gave me. You go there, you commit a crime, I will testify against you. Let's cut the bullshit that you have the freaking Black congressional people coming to support this sister, but they're not coming out against police brutality. You see the shit that we allow these people that you voted them into Congress. They are not willing to come out here and cry. They're not willing here to come and fight to stop police genocide, to stop police brutality, but they are willing to come and fight for somebody that knowingly take something, put it in a bag, knowing that this thing is illegal. I do not understand us. I don't understand it. This is a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. She's going to have to sit. I'm going to give her advice that my father gave me. You commit the crime, you damn well do the freaking time. That's it. Drug is used to destroy Black community. Your drug is being used to destroy the Black world. We need to be self-disciplined in the face of temptation. If you can't do that, I don't know what to say to you.
Hey, Adonis, can I slide in there?
Yes, please.
Let's pass it to Shirley, who's already will pass it to you. And guy, I want to correct something in the chat room real quick. The lady who shot up the airport in Dallas, she has a Yoruba name, but she is ADOS. Okay, I researched it. Now she might have one parent. Well, but see, you guys are moving the goalposts all the time when it comes to ADOS. So is it just one side is ADOS and the other side could be foreign or ADOS? But she's ADOS, guys. She's ADOS. Our research. She just has a Yoruba last name. She probably is into Ifa, and she took on a Yoruba last name. But she's ADOS. All right, go ahead, Shirley.
You know, I had a lot to say before you let that last sister talk. What was her name? What's your name, sister?
Ibarra.
Oh my God, Ibarra. Why do I need to speak when Ibarra just she leveled the playing field. She took everybody to church and brought them back. I mean, everything that you said was so on point, and I really appreciate it. Let me give you my perspective. I'm at work, and then I'm going to get out of here. My name is Shirley Hussar, Husar. In 2016, I was a surrogate and delegate for President Donald Trump. And so after the inauguration, when Trump got elected, right afterwards, the women movement came out, and they trashed DC. The media doesn't tell you this. And they went up there bailing and yelling and screaming like they had demons all inside of them, and how women and the LGBT women have empowerment and we stand behind each other and woo, 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 woo. Everything that Jay and everything that last brother who was on there talking about, I think it was T, saying about how these women don't come together. Look, you live under the Biden administration, who in my perspective, this is my perspective, is that you see Ukraine and Russia right now. This is crucial. We are aiding and abetting and helping against Russia for the behalf of Ukraine. We can't say that we are personally wanting that, But that is what America is doing. America is working with Ukraine and fighting Russia. They're using Ukraine as a middleman. They're funding the whole war for Ukraine. They're sending drones over there with Ukraine to go after Russia. So why in the hell would any U.S. citizen, especially being Black, knowing that you have anything drugs or anything that could crucially keep you in trouble, go over to Russia at this time in history? Another point I want to make is that we as a country are in jeopardy of a power play position being made upon us. China and Russia are uniting because they know we are in a weak position because of the weak leadership that we're under. People said if Trump was in office, they wouldn't have done that. Maybe, or he would have done something. I don't know if Trump would have done something, because right now we wouldn't even be in the situation where Ukraine would be this further along in this war. This would have been over with. But we are tampering again in other people's affairs when they criticize the previous administration for that. This girl is going to serve the time. I would not go to Russia right now. I mean, no one's paying attention to the fact that I believe they want us to get into this war. Does anybody in America right now want to go to war with Russia? I would say
hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Cousin JoJo,
Okay.
Bobby Brown, even homie on the street that's homeless. But we're so engulfed in all the other stuff in the world. Trust me, they're helping and giving drones, telling them, oh, look, they're over there. I mean, why are we doing this? This man is enticing and making Russia so angry that we need to be prepared our own self for whatever this country is going through. We can't sleep at the wheel on that issue. So
Our people don't care about
all right. Hey,
for some reason.
Yes, Miss Shirley, that was perfect. So first of all, I just wanted to say Miss Ibarra touched my heart when she said that Nigerians are very how did she call it? Very wonderful people, in short. And that's a fact. By the way, I'm from Liberia. And I know, and I got to say this. I remember we had our civil conflict in Liberia for several years, about 14 years in total. And we had something called the ECOMOG. That was the West African community put together like a fighting force to go and help liberate Liberia from the rebel forces, which, by the way, were Liberians as well. And the one group that seemed to really lay their lives on the line and took it personal were the Nigerians. I mean, everybody died. The Ghanaians died. Other people came and fought for us. But the Nigerians, for some reason, took it to a whole nother level. I mean, they took it really personal. And I mean, and so these people are very generous people. I mean, I know they got this stigma about Nigerians all around the world about crookedness and all that stuff, but you don't talk enough about how much Nigerians are contributing to the world. Like if you come in Houston, Texas right now, every hospital you go into, you will see at least 10 to 15 Nigerian doctors. I mean, these people are contributing to a large extent around the world, and all we do is just talk about them in a very negative light about how much they're crooks and all that. So she's right. Nigerians are very generous people, and they're probably one of the best kinds of people on the continent of Africa. So I wanted to actually say that. And in regard to what happened at the airport in Nigeria, once again, I think a sister came on here and she probably misunderstood me when I was talking about how I thought the black men get disrespected and use that as an example. Well, whether it's a black man, from the continent of Africa or regardless, as an African American, we want you to come to the continent. That's your home. That's where your ancestors are from. You have all rights. And by the way, if it were up to me, I would have every African government institute something in place to where African Americans can come to the continent and get citizenships right away, and get access to their homeland. But that's going to be tough to do because of politics and all that. But when you come to the continent, Africa is not a place where you can just say, oh, I can go over there and just do whatever. Just in the same way you obey the rules and regulations in America or Great Britain or Germany or wherever you go, when you come to the continent, you want to do the exact same thing. You can't just, especially given the fact that she overstayed her visit. That was a law that was broken. In most countries, especially in most westernized or advanced, so-called advanced countries, you will be put in prison for that. You don't overstay your visit. But so that was a law that she broke in the first place. And then just to act up the way she acted at the airport and just carrying on and all that stuff, that was unnecessary. This is your home. Africa is your home. You're there. You're supposed to be, you know better. You live in America. You see how it works here. You can't do that you can't do that. You just can't do that here. You will get snapped up by the police. You're gonna go to jail. You know that. So how dare you come to Africa and act like it, just disregard law and order and expect people to sympathize with you regarding, doing stuff like that. So, I was very disappointed. And as much as, like I said, I'm one person who's very biased to the African diaspora. I talk about mostly about African Americans because I'm biased towards them. I love to see them come to the continent even more because I know they have the kinds of access that most other African diasporas don't have. You have the access to the American economy. You can leverage that in Africa and make some good money. You have access to the U.S. dollars. You got access to the U.S. passports, which opens a lot of doors, a lot of borders for you to come into to most places around Africa. So I think you have the most advantage to come and take advantage. The most opportunity rather to come and take advantage of the immense and massive opportunities across the African continent. But with that said, you want to come and be respectful, obey the rules, obey the laws, and contribute to making things better. Because I know Africa is underdeveloped. We know that to a large extent, but you can be a part of making things better. That's why you know better. You've been here. You've been exposed to how things should be. So when you come to the continent, do the right things. Okay. And
dual citizenship. That's what's needed. African diaspora dual citizenship.
Yes, and I agree with you, and that's why I just said if it were up to me, if it were up to me today, every African government will put into law the ability for my brothers and sisters from the diaspora to come back home and have access to these economies, and I don't see why not, because these people to a large extent are going to be coming with massive economic opportunities. I don't want to believe that every African diaspora that's trying to come back home is trying to come to find a job in Africa, because it'll make no sense, to come and try to get a job in Africa. So you want to come and bring business opportunities. And so I agree with the dual citizenship, because when these people come, they're going to open in companies, corporations and stuff like that. And so that's going to help to to catalyze the development of the continent. So I 100% agree with that, with you, sister. Dual citizenship or whatever means we can do, let's do it. But when we come, though, let's not come there trying to act like we're entitled. And which, by the way, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I came here to this country, and when you first come to America, the first party you go to, and Miss Ibarra is going to tell you that. She will probably admit to that. When you first come to America as an immigrant, especially from Africa, you become a Democrat automatically, because that's where your people lead you to. But the longer you stay in America and understand the system and see how things work, you start to think, man, I should be more of a Republican, because I think the Democratic Party mislead us so much. We start to act. We start to feel entitled. For example, like what's happening with our sister in Russia right now. So if she ultimately committed a crime, if that was America, she would be going to prison. No one's going to be on the street saying, "Oh, it's wrong" and all that. So if she committed a crime in Russia, like they're saying she did, then why is the Democratic Party led by Joe Biden out here in the street trying to tell people, "Oh, Russia is wrong for what Russia's doing"? Russia's not wrong. If you commit a crime, you face
Take a look at this. Take a look at what how these people play us, right? Take a look at how they play us. It was Joe Biden, Joe freaking Biden.
Man, right? he's one of the fakest person ever. I don't even know how.
All the laws, right? You can all the black people in prison today, you can lead them to what Joe Biden did.
Of course. Exactly. Thank you, sister.
The crime against humanity should be filed against Jim Crow Joe freaking Biden. And do you know the rub of it? The one that gets me to be scratching my non-existence here is the fact that his own children are freaking drug-addicted, degenerate bastard. And we black people cannot get the point that we are willing to overlook what this man did. You see, there is a saying in Africa, right? They say if you point one accusing finger to somebody, right, the rest of it goes back to you. But you see, when they're saying it seems like it's just a word. Those that do meditation, that their chakra opens, they will say that all the energy that you put out as you're doing your meditation, that energy comes back to you. So the idea, everything that Joe Biden has done to Black Americans is literally in his family, is showing up there, right? But we Black people, we're still voting for them. They're still saying that if you don't vote for Democrat, that you know, that you don't have the right to be. What nonsense!
You know,
Well, you guys got to understand.
Byron, one second, Master. I'm sorry about that, but look,
welcome back, man.
Joe Biden has actually instituted into law when he used to, because Joe Biden has been a senator for like ever, before I was born. Joe Biden, okay, has been a part of, or perhaps even one of the initiator of laws that are responsible for African Americans, Black people, being in jail to a massive extent here in America.
Exactly.
Compare that with Donald Trump, for example. Yeah, we know Trump talks. You know, he talked. I mean, that's his personality. He talked. But what has Trump done? Can one person on this platform tell me what exactly has Donald J. Trump, other than talking and tweeting, what has he done as far as the laws are concerned that is affecting Black people right now in America? Tell me one thing that Donald Trump has done. You can't tell me anything. So basically, all we're doing is operating based on emotions. These Democrats, the Democratic Party has got all of us acting like minions and yo-yos. We just follow the beat and don't even think for ourselves. That's a very dangerous place to be as a people. As Black people, if we want any chance of relevance, we need to start learning to think for ourselves. That's what everybody else does. The Chinese do it, the Indians do it, everyone else decide to think for themselves. You should not be controlled by what other people, just by emotions. Look at the reality of things. What has Donald Trump done to you as a Black person, other than talking and saying, oh, we should do this? He's a man that talks. He talks. That's what he does. But what has he done into law that has affected your life like Joe Biden has? Nothing. Even Joe Biden was brave enough to say when he was campaigning that if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. I mean, that's BS. Come on, guys. We got to think for ourselves if we want relevance.
You have to understand, especially if you, you know, we have Black people coming from, you know, immigrating into America. Y'all don't have propaganda like how it is in America, where most of the people who look like you talk like they are pro-Black, but spitting Democrat propaganda. And this has been going on for years. And also, I see some people, Black people who are not like African American, come from the Caribbean island or Africa, who is pro-Democrat as well. So I don't know what it is, but as long as we don't have control over our media, it's not going to happen. And I would ask this question, and this is just for the sake of debate. If Africans are indeed, and I would even say Caribbeans coming over here, they are making a lot of money. Why aren't they using their resources to like combat this perception? Create like a media for Black people and kind of wake us up instead of just being quiet about it.
That's an amazing question, man. You know, like that's a very vague. I mean that is an amazing question. But look, I think beyond that, beyond a platform being created to actually educate, which is by the way, extremely important. That's something that's very important to do. Should be done, and we should get to doing that as fast as we can. But the bottom line here is the inner bickering amongst us Black people, for example. And I'm not trying to point finger or anything yet. So, but like the FBA and all that stuff, and saying we are this group and the other groups and this and that. First of all, that is a recipe for abject neglect. You can't say you're trying to seek relevance, you're trying to seek reparations and for things that happened to our ancestors, but yet you're saying, well, this other group that's coming from Africa, you're not a part of this, so please don't participate in this, don't talk in our business, that's our business. No one's going to take you serious. They're going to say, look, these guys must be, someone's phone is going off. I know it's not mine because I'm using mine right now, but yeah. So you're right, Ot. I agree. T. We should create a platform to where we can educate the very least amongst us, the people who are weak-minded the most. Because I would imagine those of us on the platform are strong-minded. Most of us watching are also strong-minded, and we think for ourselves. We are independent thinkers. So I do concur on that. But it has to start first, though, from us trying to unite as a people. One group can't say I'm on this side, another group on this side, and then asking someone for reparations.
Dinus, I'm going to have to leave.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Shirley. If you got something to say, Shirley, go ahead.
I'm going to say something and I'm going to head out because I got to get back to work. There's a reason why African Americans who are descendants of slaves are speaking out and asking for reparations. If you better believe it. I just want to speak my mind and I'm done. If you study Black history, American Black history, not African Black history, I'm talking about going back and then looking at laws like Lyndon B. Johnson and what he has done to divide the Black man and the Black woman. When we talk about the lynching laws, when we talk about Black Wall Street, we're talking about finances, we're talking about leverages and opportunities that should be allotted to us that are right now still being allotted through executive orders to other countries. The Ukrainians right now are coming to California and they're able to get apartments and houses. They're getting leverage and money giving to them of $4,700. Now you can use whatever word you want, reparation, contribution, grants, programs. These are monies that are allocated to other people outside of this country. The reason why, and I'm a descendant of slave, I have traced my ancestors back to 1851, 54. I'm still going back. And the reason why, and my grandfather served in World War I, both grandfathers. My father served in the war, my brother served in the war, and I served under a president. So it was very conscious that we were conscious people in our family of how government has oppressed us. When Africans started coming to Los Angeles, now I'm not saying all, I'm saying for those who heavily started coming in, they automatically separated themselves from us. The people from the Caribbean islands separated themselves from us. Till this day, there's still certain pockets of areas that you will see separated from people who are descendants of slaves. So we have asked, we have encouraged, we have opened ourselves to so many different cultures of people over so many years. This is the first movement where I see we clarify who we are, and then people get mad when we clarify who we are, when we have always been open. But yet people say, I am from Nigeria, I am from Ghana, and we want to work with you, everybody. I think that is beautiful. I am not from either one of those countries, though I am a descendant of those things, and I have had my DNA done. Look, this comes down to money and numbers. And if those who are from the motherland, from the diaspora, come into this country and are not willing to fund a lobbyist, I'm talking politics. You're not willing to fund, and let me finish my thought. If you're not willing to fund a lobbyist, because this is how America works. If you're not willing to fund an executive order, some type of petition put together to fight against privatized prisons, imprison Black men, if you're not willing to help fund to take out that when a Black man reverts back to jail, he is now a slave, that is still in law. If you're not going to take the time to understand the Constitution, if you're not going to take the time to understand that Black politicians are paid off, CBC does nothing for us, NBA, the National Black Association, all the Negro groups of that era has worked against their own generation. And now we at one point where 55% of the population has come down to 12 to 13% of the population. You have a problem, people. And your problem is you don't understand the leverage of power. So if Africans are going to sit back and criticize people who are descendants of American slavery for all of our faults, and I'm not saying I come from a faultless people, but what I'm saying is we are a people who deserve to at least identify what our other ancestors have gone through. And if you want to unite with us, you have a better position financially than we do, because the finances here are leveraged against us. They give money to Nigerians more than they will give to us. So that's all I wanted to say. But Dinus, thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, Sister Shirley.
No problem. Thank you for joining.
Sister Shirley, I think that there is a misunderstanding as far as Africans, being against, continental Africans being against our brothers and sisters here who are asking for reparations. I think there is I think there is a very it seems to be an endemic misunderstanding here. Why would we be against that? That's not what I'm saying, or that's not what most of us are saying. What we're saying is, you can either decide to keep wanting to ask and beg for reparations with no strength attached to it, or we can decide to go for it with strength. Therein lies our point that we're trying to make from the continent. Let's go after it, but let's do it showing strength, because basically all this whole thing is about is we're begging the white man to say, hey, please give us some money because I think you owe us this money. No one is going to want to give you money if they see that the point from which you are making that argument is it has no strength behind it.
The argument has already been justified as far as I'm concerned, and what I know, and with my background in politics and my forefathers and ancestors and beyond. It's already justified. We have strength. I have strength.
Can I add something in as a?
But I wanted to talk about the politics of Biden too, because he mentioned Biden was mentioned a couple of times. The reason why I want to talk about Biden is because Biden proudly said they assassinate Al Qaeda. So when it comes to this game of who's the best killer, because that's what Biden assassinated Al Qaeda, and they just locked up a group of Pan-Africanists. I brought that up for a reason, because that's what the reality of the movement is for them, going against us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Dynast, do you know the group? Did you hear about the group that was locked up and put in prison?
What group?
Is it the Black Hammer thing?
Say it again.
Was it that Black Hammer group?
I don't know what Black Hammer group.
Yeah, if it's the Black Hammer group, yeah, the guy was. I want to be careful. Allegedly was messing with boys. Allegedly.
He was allegedly doing a lot of other nasty, evil, foul.
But guess what? There's a lot of groups who've been doing it way before. If that's true, there's a lot of other groups who's already been messing with boys and trafficking and all that stuff. But
I'm not justifying that. And see, the thing is, a lot of these fringe groups, man, they just be into just some other just weird stuff. You just can't give a pass.
I don't think
they always use us as a tool. That's my point. They use us as a tool all the time, and the media does too.
Well, here's the thing is
the distraction. Go ahead.
No, here's I am FBA also, but the thing is, I do understand there are two different cultures. I mean, Africans probably got a different culture from African Americans. So from when the last sister said when the Africans come over here and separate, I mean, that is to be expected. I would assume that if a large population of African Americans would have went to Africa, yes, we would all see them as black like us, but eventually African Americans would probably group with other African Americans because we understand each other better culturally. I don't think it's more of a hate thing. I think it's more of an understanding.
Ain't these Africans allegedly trying to be FBA ADOS, but then at the same time, they're trying to distance themselves from FBA ADOS. At the same time, they're talking too much on other people's politics. And at the same time, we're not supporting enough. See, this is now where this back and forth is just a circular argument. And for me personally, like to my brother Bala, who was speaking earlier, I would actually say, do you know what? We don't need to say about whether, this is a good method of getting reparations or not. Nah, just let them go get it. Like, we don't need to be speaking on this no more because it's just a circular argument that's just there for the sake of it. It is there for the sake of it to keep this beef going and to foster an old beef that was dying before that guy brought it up. And ironically, funny, I'm sure many people probably saw, the main instigator of this whole FBA ADOS nonsense, we all know who he is. Well, we saw the whole recent drama that he had with the people at the radio station and he's getting some back and forth with that fella and all that type of stuff. Like, for me, I just sit back and I just say, do you know what? Yeah, I will negotiate and sit at a table and have discussions and actually flow properly with people that are actually trying to have a conversation, not people that low-key have always had a bit of a look down on a group of people and then want to just rub it back in our face. And I think, unfortunately, the video of this woman at the airport reinforces this idea. But that's me.
Jay, are you out there supporting ADOS? Like, yes, they deserve their reparations.
Yeah, of course I do. But here's the problem. No, look, I ain't got no qualms with that. I will always say it. Deserve the payments, the laws, the special, everything. Yeah. But the minute you start, not you personally, but the minute it becomes a routine part of the struggle to have to step down on Africans and to step down on Caribbeans and to talk this and that, it's like, yeah, there are cultural differences. There's nothing wrong with the Black American community saying this is who we are and this is what we is. But Ghanaians do not have to like dump all over Nigerians to prove they're Ghanaians. Jamaicans don't have to dump all over Haitians to prove that they're Jamaican. So as much as I get it, there are always going to be people in communities that speak the wrong thing, come in with a bad attitude. I'm not saying this stuff doesn't exist. It does. But to the extent that it does is always amplified 10 times more than what it really is to keep conflict going. And it is my prediction that it is because they want the scapegoat ready for if something doesn't work. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as Africans and Caribbeans and everyone else's name ain't in the mouths of nobody else, then I don't see why nobody from our side should be particularly saying certain things or giving their 2 cents or doing whatever. But let's be real. If we type in the word tether on Twitter, I think we've got a pretty good reason to understand why certain people are going to feel some type of way.
So if I may say something, from my point of view, you know, because one of the things that I decided to do when I show up at back in this country, I remember how every night a Black person is playing parade as the worst of the worst. And what did they do? I thought maybe the person killed somebody. It was drugs, right? So after a while, I started hearing how they're now doing a lot of lynching series and serial killer series, you know, early 90s. But they don't have the same smoke, the same heat about talking about serial killers. As I beginning to understand the lynching, and I said, what stops those people that were lynching? It is the same people from slavery. They're the one that's now lynching. What stops them? Did they just magically stop? Later on, I learned that they are now in police force. These things that people were not talking about, that majority of police officers in America are basically serial killer criminals. This is my mentality early in the 90s, that majority of the crime or your crime that is being committed actually probably by police, that you can see them. And those that live in Los Angeles in the early 90s all the way to mid-2000 can tell you that you can basically say some crime are not being done by regular folks. Having said that, I don't understand that what Black people do not understand. I'm saying Black Americans, what you don't understand, that you've been with these people for 500 years. At this stage, there should be no news to you anymore. Definitely you get to get the reparation. I'm not saying they're not going to give it to you, but you might want to see what they did to the so-called original people that all of us know that they are Black now, but the people that are getting the reparation, as they are actually lighter than light, right? Now, what Africans are saying, because whenever we're saying that for African American to come to Africa, for those that wish to come, for those that need to feel to be healed, it is not normal for adults, grown men, to be sleeping with boys. It is an abomination. It is not normal for men to be wearing skirts. It is an abomination. It is not normal for women to be cutting off their breast, something that is God given to you, natural. You are the mother of civilization. Do you understand what I'm saying? That if not for you, if not for you, the black woman, if not for you, the black man, right? When I'm talking, that's what I'm talking about. That so that when you go to places like that, despite African problems, that you can feel some sense of sanity. That's what we're talking about. Because every groups in America that started good, every group that started that want to do the right thing, the good thing, somehow, somewhere, something goes wrong. That you stand for, mind you, do you see the game now? They're saying that they arrested from brothers and they find out some criminality is going on. But the people that's going to put you in jail are criminals themselves. They're serial killers. They're child predators. Look at where you put yourself in. But I'm saying that if Black Americans come together with Africans, despite their problems, I didn't say they're perfect. Your tongue and your mouth fight together. Your tongue and teeth beat each other. There is always going to be a fight. But are you telling me that the fight that you have with Nigerians are so bad that you will think to the people that rape your forefather, that sticking to them, you will hitch your wagon to them? You might want to think about that, Black people.
Well, I think Black people in general need to understand that there's sellouts on both sides. I would say on the FBA side, especially the ones that we see in the media, because I think what Tariq Nasheed gets wrong is when he says, well, it's all these FBA immigrants coming over here saying we shouldn't get reparations. Now, just keep this in mind. Like, these are Black people who are paid off. I don't know if you talk to the average African or the average, Jamaican or Caribbean or someone, and, if they would, they probably wouldn't care if African Americans got reparations, probably wouldn't lose any sleep over it. But we have to understand, like, when it comes to the mainstream media, FBA or African or immigrant, if they are on TV, they are selling out. They are paid off. They're not pushing any interest. They're not gonna. They will have an African get on TV and be pro-war against Libya being destroyed under the Obama administration. They will employ that type of African to talk. So I think that's where Tariq Nasheed loses sight.
No, but T, this is the problem. You have a point, but the thing is, the majority of so-called FBA ADOS made excuses for what Obama did in Libya.
That's very true.
So that's the thing. You can't blame this minority or this minority called non-FBA ADOS in regards to Black immigrants. When, dude, the majority of people who support this nonsense, who don't support reparations, who is making excuses for Obama, was ADOS FBA. So that's the thing. I think the issues are internal and it's not external.
Yeah, and you know what? And I agree. And this is where Tariq Nasheed is going to fail at, because I believe, oh man, what is that brother who was running? I forget his name. Forget his name. Marcel Dixon. Yeah, he got 6% of the vote. And you got to understand, like, Black people are not listening. That FBAs are not voting for him. That's what he's not understanding. You're going to have to. Tariq Nasheed is going to have to start being accountable for how FBAs are behaving. If he's not going to, you can't just speak for FBAs and be like, we're going to put some pressure on the Democrats. We ain't going to do this. And then FBAs are doing it. They're doing everything that you're saying that they are not going to do. They are always voting Democrat. It don't matter what. FBAs ain't changing no mentality. You got Tierra Mack twerking. Where are the FBAs calling that out? They're nowhere to be found. So you can't keep scapegoating Democrats in Africa.
It's funny you said that, T, because I did a video on that. And of course, whenever there's some dysfunction, like this alleged Nigerian woman in Dallas who shot at the airport, when reality is, and the truth is, she was FBA ADOS. She changed her name. They're now trying to say Tierra Mack is Caribbean. And when I asked specifically that she's Caribbean, I haven't seen anything yet.
That's the same thing they say all the time. it's always a Caribbean whenever it suddenly goes south. Like Candace Owens or Roland Martin or all these other people, it's always that, oh, they're Caribbean, or oh no, they're secret Nigerian and all this stuff. Okay, if they are, they are, but a lot of the times it don't look like they are.
It really doesn't even matter. The thing is, the response will be the same. There is so much dysfunction in our community. I'm not going to even put that off and just say only Caribbeans do that, because I remember in Dallas where a woman got on a table at a black restaurant and twerked, even when the owner told her to stop doing it, didn't care.
I got to interject. And it was FBA, ADOS women who were attacking that black man for telling that woman to respect his establishment and respect his restaurant and his furniture.
Exactly. So yeah, man, the FBA, and I would say the ADOS movement, it is going to fail if they don't clean up the bad apples. Like if they don't call out destructive behavior, if they don't call out destructive patterns, if they act like how white people treat black people, where white people intentionally ignore the problems within the black community so the dysfunction can get greater, and white people scapegoat themselves. So that way we sit there and we talk about them forever and we wait for them to change in order for us to change. It's just the same strategy. Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Carnell is doing the exact same thing. In order for African Americans to change, first we got to get the immigrants to change and respect us first. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the FBA movement is to fail for a number of reasons. And the number one reason why it's bound to fail is because it was never meant to do what they claim is doing in the first place. It is designed to do exactly what that it's doing. It's designed to get black people to take their eye off the ball and to argue amongst each other. When people saw the diaspora coming together via the internet and stuff like that, and people inquiring about moving to Africa and being Pan-Africanists, the way they managed to put a stop to that is by setting up this phony lineage that they want to say, when in fact they don't even want to claim people who actually share their lineage. It's just agreeing with Tariq Nasheed or agreeing with Yvette Carnell that makes you a real FBA. They're not interested in doing what they say they're doing, and so it's bound to fail because that's
and
what
I'm an independent thinker. I am an independent thinker. So
that's now let me ask you this. Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. Candace Owens did take to Twitter and she did say something like, I come from, I forget where she was from, Caribbean islands, but pretty much said that our people work harder than African Americans. I think when you start talking like that, that is divisive. And I think a way to kind of heal the ADOS, FBA, and immigrant community is, I think when Candace Owens starts talking like that, shouldn't there be more immigrants from her community, calling her out publicly and say, no, we're not going to, or should she just get away with that?
I'm going to tell you why. We are black people, right? And black people call her out all the time. Some of those black people are from other parts of the diaspora. Some people are from here. People call her out when she says things like that all the time. But there's no specific representation of people. I believe she's Bahamian. Way back, but it's somebody.
U.S. Virgin Islands.
There you go.
One of her family is as well, and I want to make this point that when Nipsey Hussle was the hottest rapper in the world, and everyone wanted to be around him, his Eritrean father and his Eritrean name didn't stop him from being an FBA. But all of a sudden, when you come on a political difference from Yvette or Tariq, you suddenly, oh no, you're only Caribbean there, as if you don't have multiple grandparents and great grandparents.
Correct. I was going to say the exact same thing. Excellent,
Alan. Alan, that was a really nice point you made earlier about your assessment of where the prognosis of the entire FBA ADOS movement. Miss Ibarra said something earlier, and I think we kind of missed out on it. Dynast has created an amazing platform for, and I'm sure there are several others like this one where, black folks can come together and have conversations as it relates to the black community and where we want to see the continent of Africa go and all of our dreams and ambitions and all that. But Miss Ibarra said something. She said we are focusing on the small things. We come together on a platform like this, where there are thousands and thousands are going to ultimately see this. And I'm afraid that what she said is true. And as a community, as us, Black people, if we want to get to any place of relevance, because quite frankly, if you compare other communities, we wouldn't accuse ourselves of being the most respectful community right now in the world. We're not going to accuse ourselves of that, I'm pretty sure. If we want to attain any place of relevance, we got to probably start changing our conversations now from the very minute things like internal bickering, the different groups amongst ourselves. And we need to start focusing on, I don't want to say bigger things to sound so cliche, but that's where we need to go. And for that to happen, it's going to have to happen on the continent of Africa, which is why, once again, I'm one of the biggest proponents of saying, please, not just African Americans, but my diasporans, brothers and sisters,
Exactly.
African diasporans, start looking towards the continent.
Exactly.
Start trying to figure out ways. Pay some visits. I don't want to tell you to be like somebody else, but goddamn it, be like Dynast. I mean, this man had a trip. He was planning to go to Brazil, and he ended up in Tanzania. And bam, the next thing, Mali. Next thing, he's all over the place, Senegal, and he's all over the place. And here he is now. He has been bitten by the bug of Africa, and he's all about it. Go Black to Africa. I mean, you just name it. Brothers and sisters are on the continent doing it. There's something they're seeing there that those of us, I mean, I'm from there because I saw, and I'm about to be going back there soon. In the next probably 1 or 2 years, I'll be back on the continent. But for those of my brothers and sisters who have not gone, I would say go see what you can find. And find a lane where you can start building your corporations. The things that you dream about doing in the West, you may not be able to do it, or you may be able to do it to a very small extent, as compared to doing it on the continent where it's going to metastasize to it's going to get big very fast. The African economy is very fertile right now. It's not going to remain that way forever. Just like China used to be, but now China has become saturated. It's going to happen in Africa eventually. Well, except for Africa, we're probably going to remain on the top forever once we get there as an economic hub of the world, because we have natural resources to back us up. But with that said, you want to start looking to the continent right now. Let's forget about these small conversations. And for example, I just had something else playing in my head, and I'll put it out there just for putting out their purpose. Like this platform that Dynast has. I would say, and that's Dynast's platform, he can agree or not, but I would say before you bring a guest on, let's make some kind of contribution. I mean, you go to church, you give money to these pastors that make you feel good, but do nothing for you at the end of the day. You go to the mosque.
I donate every time I come on the panel.
Yeah, and that's awesome, brother. And this is a platform that we should contribute to. We should come out here, and Dynast now should be in a place where he shouldn't have to, if he is at all, he shouldn't have to worry about finding other means of income as far as working. Now he should be free so that he can be more creative mentally to create these kinds of opportunities for us to come together and have these conversations. You do it for pastors. These people come and they take your money and go buy jet planes and all that stuff and doing nothing for you at the end of the day. But what he's doing is very special. As a community, as a people, I say we start pushing him. Push Go Black to Africa. Push what's his name? The guy in South Africa there and his wife. I mean, there are several other of our brothers and sisters on the continent that are doing stuff like this. They're opening these kinds of avenues for us to come and have these conversations. Let's take it to a whole nother level. Other communities do it. Yeah, they support people who are doing things like these to free them up, to free their time so they can be more creative. Let's do that. Let's be different. I mean, let's be the great people that we were.
And Bala, I tell people, like, I love the super chats. It's all good. But I'm like, listen, I got products and services you could buy. Like, just don't give me your money.
Exactly.
Just go buy. Like, go buy the documentary. Go buy a shirt. Come on a tour. But go buy the documentary. Like, just go to searchforwho.com.
I was just about to say
$10.99 and buy the documentary.
Yeah. So that way you free him up so he can operate in a space that God has called, because this is like a calling. This is beyond being just a YouTuber at this point, because while we're all here, we're having this conversation and the listening audience is getting inspired by it. This is a calling. This is not just being a YouTuber anymore. So we need, as Black people, we need to be the great people that we are. We are the first people on earth. We have everything. God has given us everything. We got all the abilities. Let's be the great people we are. Let's follow what Missy Barra said. Let's stop focusing on the small things, small conversations, FBA, ADOS, all that stuff. Let's come together and work as a power team and make this thing work. We are from the greatest continent on earth. Damn near 75% of the world's natural resources is found in the continent. So let's come together and make it work,
By the way, do you know one of the mistakes that people like Tariq Nasheed did, really? If you have your platform, you could have reached out to all the embassies. Really?
Yes.
All these big platforms, is there a reason why you are not reaching out to the embassy? You don't have to reach out, go there. I didn't tell you to go and protest there. I said go there. Start talking to them. Start talking to those embassies. Link up with the embassies. You have a conversation with them. They're not blind.
No.
Are they blind? Are they deaf?
I think Tariq Nasheed's whole thing is, according to, and this is him, because I don't follow him, but I do listen very closely to his debates. His thing is more as immigrants coming over here and speaking down on African Americans, and
well, you see,
so I don't think he's going to visit the embassy.
I understand. Listen. I don't even think we understand. But I wanted to maybe let me address something particularly with us Africa that's coming here, right? And I can't say Africa because I don't know that many Africa. I know some Nigeria. You see, again, when people want to generalize, the person that's generalized, I have not met all the Nigerians that is in this country. I have not met all the Cameroons. Neither have, in fact, every time I met a different Africa from a different country, I'm actually shocked that there are people like that here in terms of their names, because I've never heard of them before. Listen, I have not met every Yorubas. And I'm probably most likely not going to. Now, this country allows us to do one thing. Black people, listen to this. The one thing they allow you to do is to abuse each other, kill each other, rape each other. They will prosecute you. They don't mind doing that. Why? If they kill you, they will not prosecute themselves. But listen, they will allow you to build a business, destroy it. They will allow you to do what you're doing online right now, because this is not getting you anywhere. It's not doing anything. You're not fighting the system. This is just to get it out of your system, right? So they will allow you to protest. You want down your shoe. All those things they will allow you to do. But at the end of the day, when that little police officer show up, the one that didn't finish high school, that can't read, when he shows up on you, the black man, the PhD holder, you calling him sir, you bowing down for him. Because the system was built for him to do whatever he wants to do in this system, right? At some point, you're going to have to humble. I didn't say humble to go and bow down to anybody. Tone down your voice. Go to all the embassies. You have 54 countries. I'm sure quite a few of them have embassy in the United States. Get together with them. You need the backing of the state. You need what? The backing of the state. Your water is being poisoned. You don't have any power. Mind you, don't forget that all of us are now going to we are going to suffer from this. Not just the FBAs, us as Africans. Because we come here, we make our little money, and we go ahead and pretend as if we don't know what is going on. And then when your children come up and say, Daddy, Mommy, now I want to chop off my dick, what are you going to do? Because your children see black in America chopping it off. Now they want to do. Your daughter coming here and say, Daddy, and you know Africans, you know how you get down? You've been saving all your wedding stuff for your daughter to get married. When she says she's not going to get married because she's seen what this country allows us to do, Africans, you better find ways to start coming together and start making conversation, and let's change and remain family first, black first, African center first. We are the original people. What we're doing is not working. What we've been doing is not working. What is going to work is to become family first. I pray that the universe will continue to bring together the black man and the black woman and the black child in love, peace, harmony, and justice. That's all I have to say. I love you all. If I offend anybody, which I know that I am, forgive me, right?
Same here.
Everything that I say it out of love. I have never want to be anything else but a black woman. I have never want to be anything else but a black person. And when I come back to this world, I want to do it one more time. So let's do it right while we're here so that we can come back again and do it one more time. Okay?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you all.
Family should be first. Thank you.
Indeed.
Okay, guys, I need one second. I need everyone who is watching this. Go to searchforuhuru.com. Go to searchforuhuru.com or go to documentary.searchforuhuru.com. Let me put the link on the screen in the chat room and go and buy the documentary. Again, go and buy the documentary. Go to searchforuhuru.com. You're going to follow the instructions, click the buy button and buy the documentary. And guys, it's streamed. Like it's not a DVD, actual physical DVD that I send you guys. It's actually streamed on the site. You set up a login. Once you pay the $10.99, the documentary is yours, and you can stream it on all devices when you log in, no matter where you're at. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com and cop a copy of the documentary, you guys. Go to searchforuhuru.com. Okay. All right, go ahead.
What I was saying, as a sister was saying, put family first. But here's the thing. It all boils down to righteousness again. When you put in a position, what decision you're going to make, who's going to influence you. And these family first law, rule, who's going to enforce it? Because some things has to be enforced. Bottom line. And I guess it will take us who's having a conversation to really push that issue seriously. Because they are out to destroy the family. They have destroyed the family already. They put things in place hundreds of years before the time. And then when it comes out to just like it is now, they're doing the chopping off their penises and breasts. They, how many millions of people just got murdered or died? How many did Bill Gates and them say? Dr. Fauci said now, he prophesizes 5 million more people's going to die now. Yeah. How many more people got the shots? So I'm saying that to say, many already programmed. So enforcement has to come into place because they're going to fight for their own demise. So yes, it should be family first. Some of us have already been to some of the embassies. I will be myself visiting again because of the destruction of even my own family. So I will be doing exactly what she has suggested again and see what the outcome would be. Because if we don't have righteousness, if we don't have no family, we have nothing, period. Thank you.
Yeah, I just gotta say this. I'm a lead too. It's just interesting how the FBA and the immigrant thing started, because if you look at how Black people are treated all around the world, but when it comes to America, they make sure that our families are destroyed and we have nothing but this dysfunction on TV. Like, I'm hearing about a show called P-Valley, and I'm like, man, is there like a white version, Arab version, Asian version of the show where it got hardcore LGBT scenes and a bunch of dysfunction? But see, that's intentional. But then when I look at Africa, I don't know how far the social programming is in Africa, but I know that there's IMF, there's interference in African countries, there's privatizing resources of Africa so that Africans don't benefit off their own resources. Because I always ask myself, how is Africa such a resource-rich country, but a lot of their people living in poverty? And it looks like, Westerners And I was, and I could be ignorant to this, so y'all may have to correct me, Westerners. And I would say maybe China is coming in and taking resources and privatizing it, so it's affecting Africans as well. But instead of focusing on the West doing this, we're fighting each other. It's just crazy. So a whole continent is being screwed economically, and then Black people's mentality is being screwed domestically in America. So maybe Tariq Nasheed, which he should pay attention to those things instead of just playing the game and falling right into that. Because, like I said, Libya was, to me, it was a prosperous African country, and I believe they was like, yo, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he was trying to unite Africa, saying we don't need to rely on outside powers, and we took him out, and they used a Black man to do that. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I want to say. There shouldn't be no FBA versus African or immigrant nonsense, because we are being attacked by other enemies that has greater plans for us, and that's all I got to say.
All right, guys, listen, we'll go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on the way out, and please go to documentary.searchforwho.com or searchforwho.com. If you're watching this, please go and support the documentary. Please go and support the documentary, everyone. Until next time, family, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. We're rolling to Nigeria on Monday. I'm excited about that. Peace.
Peace.